Yeah, it do be mermaid time already. The game went. There we go. Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a few days. It's been a few days since I got to stream because I had a few very busy mornings. So, well, busy mornings, but busy days. I think we should just hop into it. So, we have Abby over here at the bottom with some stuff, but I kind of want to continue Sato here and watch it end up being very how do you say it? Watch this be a very short section. So, was it last time we found out that Sato is Osato from the Mermaid legend, and so she's immortal. The rich guy wants to, well, the Wakamura wants to send her off to the other rich guy for, who is, good old Yamashina. Unkake Dono, I think his name is. Unkaku Dono. And, because he's interested in immortality. So. And then, we got a phone call from someone mysterious who wants us to go on who is the one who's doing the slasher stuff, so. Is it Ari? There was a point of me that thought maybe Ari, but I don't think it is. Like, the way that he talks and everything, unless he's, like, very two-faced. I don't imagine it's with him. But yeah, the slash from the curse leaves Sato with a large wound on her chest. She dies, but only for a moment, and then resurrects in front of everyone. Revealing that she is no normal person, she escapes in a panic, unsure of what will happen next. So she seemed to have remembered when she was healing. Like, she died and she revived, but she remembers this time, unlike the last time where she, like, didn't remember. So, again, she could have been out at sea. Like literally if she was, like, drowned and under the water and then washed up and revived. Maybe that's why she doesn't remember. Huh? Was I asleep? Alright. I got attacked out of nowhere, right in the middle of Chuo Street. Every time I come back to life, my head's always foggy and my memory's all over the place. Let's see, after I was cut down, everyone saw me resurrect, so I panicked and started running around trying to hide. But in the end, Mr. Wakamura found me, told me to stay put in the house and keep my head down. Sounds like things are getting pretty chaotic on the island, all because of me. Apparently Mr. Wakamura told everyone he would handle it, which helped smooth things over. What now? So now everyone knows I can't die. Be that as it may, I still got something I need to do. This is it. Time to see it through. Today's been so hectic, I need to take a second to gather my thoughts and figure out what comes next. Right now, over the southern sea of Kamishima, the curse of the raging waves is creating a huge storm that has started to churn the sea. They say it can whip up a violent storm without warning, the kind that can flip a boat in an instant. Wakamura plans to hand me over to Unkake Dono to find a way to stop the curse. That handover is supposed to happen tomorrow, but Shotaro is against that plan. This morning he asked if I'd run away with him to escape the island and flee to Tokyo. Oh yeah, I still haven't given him an answer. I'm sorry, but I have my reasons. I can't go with Shotaro. I do wonder. I also wonder if the mirror, not necessarily the mirror is the trigger, but like what the mirror is made out of. Kamishimari's still in his usual spot. It's really assuring to see him. It's already pitch black outside. It's quiet. Too quiet. It's putting me on edge. Yeah, great place to start this. As for how to actually stop the curse of the raging waves, the information Tsuyu gave us this afternoon might help. I should go over it again to get everything straight. She didn't tell us! Well, I didn't get that scene. Yeah, for real. Earlier today, I got a creepy call demanding I turn myself in. They said if I didn't comply, an assassin with a curse will start killing people. I didn't go. And sure enough, later that evening, I was struck out of nowhere by some invisible slash and killed. Whoever did it was probably testing whether I'd really come back to life, while also showing off their powers all in one go. And it worked perfectly. Then I went into a panic with people both terrified of me and for not dying and of the one who attacked me. If it really was an assassin mixed in along the locals that used the curse to do all that, we're in serious trouble. A curse that can kill someone instantly from a distance. That's not just dangerous, it's terrifying. None of the curses I've ever known worked like that. They are never that convenient or all-powerful. They say when you curse someone, you're cursing yourself as well. Using a curse always comes with risks, or with strict conditions. To target me so precisely at that exact moment and a place from somewhere I couldn't even see. There must have been some really specific conditions to pull it off. I should try to recall the curse slash that hit me and see if there's anything else I can remember. It seems that Mr. Wakamura still hasn't figured out who the assassin is either. Whoever they are, they're blending in with the locals and triggering the curse with ease. As far as I know, only a psychic with a powerful spirit sense could use a curse like that. Is there really someone like that on this island? That attack, it was brutal. I changed clothes and the wound is gone now, but it's a good thing I have a completely identical outfit. Can't stop the cold sweat. My body still remembers the pain. But I'm the only one who can get to the bottom of this curse. When you think back, remember exactly what happened when I was cursed. There has to be some kind of clue. Was there any sign, anything at all before I was struck? Wait, that's right. Just before I was slashed, I saw something reflected in the hand mirror. A mysterious shadow. If I remember correctly. It looked like a warrior in armor carrying a sword. Wait a second. Could it be? Was that the curse of the Heike I heard about yesterday? Ah, that's in this part. It will unlock once all the collection. Damn it! A curse that delivers a single hate-fueled strike from a sword. And its shadow was already there before I was hit, which means if I can spot that armored warrior shadow again, it would mean the assassin using the curse should be nearby. Damn, should ask more questions yesterday. That cursed shadow. It showed up in the mirror, but when I turned around, there was nothing there. Does that mean it's only visible in mirrors? If that's true, I might be able to use this Kamishima hand mirror to spot the shadow before the curse strikes. Maybe I could look for it with the mirror, but maybe I should practice a bit. Earlier today, after Mr. Wakamura told me to wait here, we snuck out and went to talk to Suyu. We learned some rather important info there. Yeah? Are you kidding me? Wakamura's fixing to hand you over to someone to try to break the curse of the raising waves? Treating people like they're nothing but tools. That's just plain awful. Exactly. But if we figure out how to lift the curse ourselves, then maybe it won't come to that. If you know anything about the curse of the raging waves, please, we need your help. Well, of course. I don't know what I'd do with myself if we lost you, Sato. I reckon it's fine to tell you. I was about to tell Yuza and Nizami later anyway. Come on, you two. I got something to show you. I promise I'd tell Yuza and Nizami tonight, but there's something I need to check, so I'll fill you two in first. Thank you. There it is. Just as I remember it. Tsuyu, are you sure you're okay to be climbing these rocks with your injured leg? Oh, don't you worry about me. Still got a few tricks left in these old bones. Truth is, I put together a little shrine behind these rocks. Nobody else knows it's there, so it's been hidden here for ages now. Really? There was a shrine all the way out here? Oh, is this one of those bronze mirrors? I think I saw one in my history textbook once. It's kind of old and worn, but it's so small and cute. It's a beauty, alright, but there's a lot more to it than its looks. Let's see what Tsuyu has to say. Having Tsukasa here with me means more than I can say. How far will she follow me in all this, I wonder? Wanna look at the ocean? The sound of crashing waves and the distant roar of the sea fills the air. The weather's so nice, and yet something about it has me on edge. Even out here, Tsuyu remains her usual calm, unshakable self. Unfortunately, that only makes it harder to tell where the jokes end and the serious talks begin. I think I might have picked up a bit of that from her. Tsuyu, what exactly is that mirror? This here used to belong to Mare, Yuza's mother. Wait, Yuza's ma? Well, to be precise, Mare found it at the bottom of the old well after she came to Kamishima. The old well? That's where this bronze mirror came from? Sure is. Though, I don't know much beyond that, I'm afraid. Anywho, she said we had to keep it enshrined somewhere that overlooked the southern sea, so we tucked it away back here. It was here even back when Mare was still alive, so that's gotta be near 20 years now. That long. Wait, I know the bronze mirror. No way. So does that mean the mirror has some connection to the curse of the raging waves? Sure does. Listen, all I'm about to tell you is just what Mare told me once. I trusted her with all my heart, so I'll speak as if I know it all to be true. Yes, of course. This curse of the raging waves isn't some tiny little curse that someone can just throw out whenever they like. It's a massive curse that's been churning down off the southern coast of Kamishima for a good 400 years now, non-stop. Wait, seriously? If that's true, wouldn't there be a huge storm all the time? There's the thing. The curse has been sealed away all this time, held back. All because of a sacrifice offered up 400 years ago. A sacrifice? Yes, a real sacrifice. You don't mean like Symbolically, you're saying someone was actually sacrificed to keep the curse at bay. Exactly. Many, many years ago, someone made the ultimate sacrifice. But thanks to that, the source of the curse has been sealed away. And this here bronze mirror supposedly belonged to the very person who was sacrificed. No way. Thing is, even with that sacrifice, after 400 years, the effects of that held back the curse. The effects that held back the curse are getting weaker and weaker. Wait, really? In other words, now that the curse is overpowering its seal, the curse of the raging waves could be set. The curse of the raging waves could be set loose again. That's how it seems. But at the same time, it seems the curse itself has become a lot weaker over the last 400 years. Even with the seal wearing thin, the power of the bronze mirror has been able to keep it at bay. It's managed to hold back the curse of the raging waves for the past 10 or so years. The mirror doesn't hold a candle to a real sacrifice, though. It's got enough power to suppress the curse. Right. So, if it wasn't all for that mirror, the curse might have already swallowed up the island. But if that's the case, Mare wasn't a curse bearer trying to unleash the curse at all. In fact, she was the complete opposite. She found the mirror and was trying to hold it back, right? Well, that's true, but it ain't quite the whole story. What do you mean? To explain what I mean, I need to tell you about where Mari come from. I thought nobody knew where she came from. Sorry for keeping it from you. The truth is, Mare was a descendant of a place called Taishima, an island that was wiped off the map long ago. Wait a sec. Taishima? Isn't that the place where the curse of the raging waves started? After it got invaded or something? That's the one. Hold on. I heard that Mare was a descendant of the people who destroyed Taishima, that she was the one who brought the curse. Quite the opposite. Her ancestors were the ones being destroyed. Well, dang, that sure changes the story. But what does that mean exactly? Mare told me that folks from Taishima passed down a duty from generation to generation. A duty? She said it would be 400 years since the disaster during her generation, and that meant she had to be the one to see it through. To carry out that duty first, the curse of the raging waves had to be removed once and for all. They needed to wait for the curse to weaken, and so many a generation passed for that to happen. So the duty wasn't just to stop the curse. That was just the first step? Right. Mare came to Kamishima because she was meant to fulfill that duty. Apparently she spent years waiting on the island, watching for a sign that the curse was starting to weaken. Eventually she ended up marrying my little Tosuke, but it seemed that was never part of the plan. She often used to chuckle about it, saying that you never know when or where fate will bring someone into your life. I had no idea. Then when we came to 5 years ago, 395 years since the curse of the raging waves had begun, she said the time had finally come, that the curse was now weak enough. I remember her saying how she offered the mirror now. No, how if she offered the mirror now, she could remove the curse for good. She could complete her duty. Remove the curse for good? Well, even hearing all that, I was still only half convinced the curse wasn't just some old folk tale. Yeah, don't think anyone could blame you. So then, what exactly was her duty? She said she'd only tell me once it was all over and done with. Oh right, the Southern Sea disaster. In the end, I never got to hear what her duty was. Mare was taken by the sea before she could tell me. After the disaster, I was a mess inside. I couldn't think straight for ages. But now, with all this going on, I figured it was time to finally talk about what happened. The duty of the people of Taishima were meant to fulfill 400 years later? What could that be? Yeah, right? Just the classic anime death flag. I'll tell you later. I got something to meet up with you later. That day, 5 years ago, out of the blue, Mari suddenly said that the time had come. She had headed out to sea, bronze mirror in hand, ready to end the curse once and for all. But you know the rest. I reckon she failed to do it. She failed? And then that triggered the storm and the whole disaster. That's how it looks. Thinking back, it hadn't quite been 400 years yet. Maybe she rested. Felt like the time was running out. I think she tried to end it, and the curse just lashed back, causing the tragedy. I know folks want to blame her, but I can never really say anything to stop them. One curious thing though, Mari took this bronze mirror with her when she set out. But when Yuza was the only one found alive, he had the mirror on him. Maybe that's what saved him. Just him. By some miracle. At the very least, I'm grateful that he came back safe. Yeah, when they found Yuza that day, I remember bawling my eyes out. I was so relieved. After all, I offered a little prayer of thanks to the mirror and quietly returned it to this shrine in the bay. For the next 5 years, there was no sign of the raging waves. Everything stayed calm. Up until now. That does explain a lot. But there's one thing I can't quite make sense of. What's that? I know she took Tosuke with her, as she was the one who handled the boat, but I never understood why she took little Yuza with her too. Ah, yeah, that is a bit odd. Yuza says he doesn't remember a thing, so we'll probably never know the truth. Not to mention that Mare's so-called duty also still remains a mystery. All that's left is this bronze mirror. 5 long years since then. Darn. I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, the curse of the raging waves would fade away on its own. But now they say it's growing stronger again, and I have to say the despair is setting in. So something just came to mind. What is it, Tsukasa? Yuza is Mare's son, right? So that means he's also a descendant of Taishima. What if Mare passed the duty on to him, taught him how to deal with the curse? Oh, that's a good point. Maybe she brought Yuza along in case things didn't go as planned, to carry things on if she couldn't. Now that you say it, that actually makes a whole lot of sense. Truth is, I've been wondering if that boy's starting to remember something. It's not exactly an easy thing to bring up to him, you know? But since we were finally talking about all this, I figure it's time to ask him straight. See? Honestly, Yuza couldn't hide anything from anyone, let alone us. I thought the same. That boy's as transparent as glass. So, listen, Sato. You need to tell him there's no need to rush with this nonsense. The bronze mirror is holding the curse of the raging waves back for now. Yeah, and maybe Yuza actually knows how to get rid of the curse with that mirror. Yeah. Well, I don't think Wakamura is gonna listen. Like, I literally don't think it's gonna. But it didn't work for Mare. Not with the bronze mirror alone. The curse is still out there, so maybe it really does need to be me, you know? Sato, you okay? You're acting kind of weird. Thank you, Suyu, for telling us all this. I think it's time I told you both something too. I actually remembered something the other day about who I used to be. Yeah, right? Wait, you mean you remembered something? You remembered even more? Yeah, sorry I didn't say anything sooner. I, guess I'll just spill it. The one who was, yeah. As soon as that came up, I'm just like, okay, it was her. It was her. She's like, I recognize that mirror. It was her. The one who was sacrificed 400 years ago. That was me. Huh? What? Hold on. 400 years ago? You're pulling my leg at a time like this? No, you see, the truth is... Well, I'll be... So you're telling me you're immortal? You promise you ain't pulling my leg. This one's a bit hard to swallow. I think the reason the curse is getting stronger is because I woke up 3 months ago after sleeping deep on the seafloor. I think me waking up weakened the seal that was holding back the curse. Oh, you know what? You said some rock shifted and whatnot, right? I wonder if, yeah, like that earth, like there was an earthquake and like she was in there, sealed off. And she ended up resurfacing because of that. Whoa, wait. So when you said you'd been asleep for hundreds of years, you mean you were actually sacrificed at the bottom of the ocean? That's awful. That's right. I was sacrificed to seal the curse at the source. It wasn't to remove it, though. It was just a way to keep it from seeping out. It's just a temporary fix. A stopgap until someone found a way to remove it for good. That said, it did last 400 years, I suppose. That's hard to even imagine. But after those 400 years, the curse was supposed to have weakened. And the way to end it should have been passed down. You mean by Mare? I guess she never had the chance. Maybe there's a chance she did pass something on to Yuza. Maybe, but if she didn't, that would mean that I have to be sacrificed again. Whoa, Sato, no, that's not how it has to be. That has to be the reason I'm immortal. Sato, I never should have woken up. Everyone here took me in, even though I didn't remember a thing. I didn't want to lose all that warmth, so I kept quiet. I'm so sorry. But if it comes to it, I'll take responsibility. I'll be the sacrifice again. No, Sato, don't talk like that. You already protected us for 400 years. That's more than enough. I refuse to let you go through that again. There has to be a reason you woke up now. You weren't needed to seal the curse anymore. I know it. That brings up a question about the guy who was on the phone. Because, like, he called her Osato and said, like, he clearly recognized her and knew her. But if she was in the, like, it wasn't like she was, like, wandering around or anything. If she was been on the bottom of the ocean for 400 years, then this would have to be another immortal? Has to be someone else like that? She's right. We'll find a way to keep you safe through this, Sato. I think this is new, yeah. In truth, the curse has been protected active ever since its inception. The sacrifice offered 400 years ago merely served to seal the source of the calamity during the time. It is believed that Mari Minakuchi attempted to lift the curse once for all, but only her failure gave to give rise to the disaster 5 years ago. Got a bit overwhelmed back there. But Tsuyu and Tsukasa both told me that there was no need for me to be sacrificed. Be the sacrifice. Still, I can't help but feel I have to do something. Of course, if there's anything I can do to avoid being sacrificed, I'll do it. Okay, here it goes. It looks like I use this mirror to search for things behind me. Let's do a little practice first. Try reflecting the Kamishimaro flag in the mirror. Once I see its reflection, I'll take a closer look at the hand mirror. Oh, there you go. There you are, Kamishimaro. Okay, this works. I can see the Kamishimaro matte flag in the mirror. Maybe using the mirror isn't the important thing, but not looking directly at it. I should also reflect on a bit more on what I know about Unkake Dono. The killing definitely won't stop with just the attack on me. Even the man on the phone was ranting about killing everyone one by one. But at least for the moment, it seems pretty quiet outside. Still, there's no telling when it'll start. That caller really can wield a curse. Maybe turning them down wasn't the smartest move. Then again, there's no way I was just going to hand myself over. Like Shotaro said, there's a chance the caller was working for Unkake Dono. The bronze mirror definitely was something I owned a really long time ago. I never imagined it held power strong enough to suppress a curse, though. But even offering it up didn't fully get rid of the curse of the raging waves, which means there must be some other condition that wasn't met. The real key to ending the curse has to be tied to something or someone relating to Mare. Hopefully Tsuyu will be able to tell the others more about that. That said, it's possible Unkake Dono already has that exact same information. Okay, if I can catch the shadow with the mirror before anything happens, maybe I can find the assassin right as they are about to use the curse. Wait, one problem. If anyone on this island sees me now, it'll just cause more panic. I'll just stay hidden while I move around. After talking with Tsuyu, we put the bronze mirror back in the shrine. With the curse so unstable right now, moving it away from the shrine seemed like a bad idea. Tsuyu said she plans to tell Yuza and Azami the same thing she told me. If that leads to anything new, they'll let us know. Just for now, I just need to do what I can. If I can find that armored shadow again, maybe I can at least deal with that curse. I have to try to avoid places with lots of people around, though. So it seems very empty. Time to look around while I have a chance. Oh, you can find the shadow in the mirror. What the? It's there. I saw it. As I thought, I can't see anything directly, but it was right there, right by those rocks. I mean, the assassin should be nearby. Wait, didn't Tsuya say she was meeting Yusa and Azami here later? I should look around quickly before anyone shows up. Huh? Who's that? Damn it, they took off. Wait! Damn it, I lost them. Well, someone as out of shape as me never had... Someone as out of shape as me never had a chance to catch up. I mean, no. I don't even really know if they went this way. This is hopeless. Damn, I'm completely out of breath. Ugh, I didn't think this far ahead. What did I think I was gonna do if I actually found someone? Anyway, running around in the dark isn't gonna get me anywhere. But I did see that shadow again, along with someone suspicious nearby. Taking off like the second I saw them. Just about the most obviously suspicious thing they could have done. That pretty much confirms there is an assassin using a curse to attack people on the island, just like the phone call threatened. But even if that's the case, is there anything I can do to stop it? I'm not exactly built to fight. I'm pretty sure I'd lose just about anyone. I can't do this alone. I have to find someone to help me. But who can I even ask at a time like this? Wait, hang on. Wasn't Suyu supposed to be meeting Yuza and Izami down by the bay? Oh, no. Oh, please, no. I gotta be back. I gotta get back and warn her now. I can't breathe. So out of shape. I'm here. Barely. No. Suyu, wake up! Was I too late? No, this isn't happening. What about Yuzu and Izami? Weren't they supposed to meet her here? There are footprints. Maybe they ran over to get help already? Suyu! No, this is the same wound as mine. It's hopeless. She would have died in an instant. There's nothing anyone could do. I'm sorry. I'll come back though. I'll make sure you're properly laid to rest. After that, Sato returned to the island city center, which had turned to a living nightmare. Countless others had already fallen victim to the curse. Bloodied bodies lay scattered around the ground. People fled in panic, screaming and confused. Some turned on others, shouting wild accusations. Others broke down, wailing in helpless hysteria. Many clung to lifeless loved ones, crying in despair. In the midst of the chaos, not a single person paid Sato any mind. Sato Shiranami wandered through the devastation, overcome with guilt. If only she had done more, maybe this tragedy could have been prevented. If I had just listened. If I had just done what the damn phone caller told me, none of this would have happened. This is all my fault. All because I dared to hope that I could keep on living. This is all wrong. I was never supposed to be here. It's all wrong. This body, my life. Maybe it's better if it just ends. I'll surrender to the assassin right now. If that stops any more people from getting hurt. There's a pool of fresh blood. Someone must have collapsed here too. I had to find the assassin. I need to tell him that I surrender before more lives are lost. Ah, Mr. Wakamura, where did you... Sato, where's Tsukasa? Tell me where Tsukasa Awao is right now. Huh? Tsukasa? Why Tsukasa? I can't believe it. I figured Unkakedono had a couple secret kids stashed somewhere. But Tsukasa Awao? She was one all along? You better be... You lot been keeping it a secret from the start? Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to just be there, right? What are you talking about? The goddamn assassin that gotta be working for Unkakidono, so it has to be her. Where is she? Gotta get my hands on her and put an end to this mess. Stop wasting time and talk. I think she's down by the southern bay. The bay? Got it. That was close. I gotta find Tsukasa before he doesn't warn her. She really is hiding. I bet she's up at the Kante Kisho ruins. No time to waste. Someone's here. What the hell? Ah, Sato! Sato, Yuza just... Both of you need to get out of here. It's dangerous here. Hurry! But what about Yuza? There's no time! Just go! Oh boy. There's a few things I'm just curious about. What if I go to Kante Kisho ruins, like, to start? Now. Yeah, I think you just don't get any. There's like just literally nothing here. I think you're supposed to figure out that you're supposed to go to the bay because of yeah, it's like a really small little thing, right? I was just wondering if you get like a bad ending for telling her to go up there. So much for that. Hoo boy, we're getting some intense action here. The tragedy of Kamishima. Mysterious deaths continue to occur amongst the island's residents, and it's not long before the same tragedy befalls Yuza. So many of the others are left helpless and overwhelmed by grief. Damn it! What the hell is going on? What the fuck happened to you, Yuza? How could you just die like that? Out of nowhere? Oh, true. Well, the game doesn't give you the option to pull out the mirror there. So... yeah, it would have been funny if you just pull out the mirror and just see the bald man in there. You managed to live through the disaster 5 years ago just to die like this? And still, the whole island turned on you, blamed your mom for everything. They rejected you even when you said you wanted to become an ama diver. What the hell did you ever do to deserve that? But you never once complained. You just kept right on going like it was nothing. You did everything right. Someone like you deserved so much better. You deserved to be happy, damn it. I would have done anything to make that happen. And yet, I couldn't do a damn thing. I'm sorry. I'm so damn sorry, Yuza. This shouldn't have been the way for you to go. How could the gods think this is fair? How? Hey, Tsukasa, I know this is a terrible time, but there's something important I need to tell you. Yeah, go ahead. There aren't many people around here, so it's nothing like the chaos in town. It's quiet here. I almost feel like that whole nightmare earlier was just a dream. If only that were true. I don't think Tsukasa's the assassin, but I should make sure. I should leave him be for now. Yeah, he's in pretty intense grief. Compared to how shaken Azami is, Tsukasa seems rather calm given the situation. She's probably wondered why I'm staying so composed right now, too. Try to stay calm and listen, okay? I spoke to Mr. Wakamura earlier. Apparently this Unkaku Dono person might actually be your father. Huh? Wait, what? Wait, are you serious? Are you saying my pa, Yamashina, is Unkaku Dono? Oh, shit. See, I remember last time I was just like, maybe he's the same. And then we kind of threw that out there. And I was like, I feel like if she's been able to talk to him, I feel like she would find that out in his research. But come on, Tsukasa. I feel like your research should be a little bit more thorough. That's what he said. Not sure if it's true or not. But Mr. Wakamura made up his mind. He's convinced that makes you the assassin. If he finds you, who knows what he'll do? Huh? That's crazy talk. Me? An assassin? Come on, that makes no sense. I know, I don't believe it either. That's why we need to find the real assassin as soon as possible. Unkake Dono doesn't live on the island, so he's off the island. Because, if you look at the map, yeah, I think he lives, like, in the Cape Irago area, or something like that. Like, he lives on one of these places that are, like, one of these places where it's not, Okay, so it's over here. It's over here. He lives right here. So... yeah, but easier said than done. Sato, Tsuyu's gone and so is Yuza. Yeah, I never thought it would come to this. I'm scared. What are we supposed to do now? I didn't manage to find out any more about the Curse of the Raging Waves, but right now we have to find the assassin. Earlier, down by the bay, I saw the cursed shadow again, as well as someone running away. Wait, the shadow? Sorry, I need to check something curse related real quick. Oh, the curse? Oh, right. Earlier, I know, I can check with the hammer to make sure the shadow's not nearby. Is she the assassin? Is she actually the assassin? Because, like, she mentioned knowing Tsuyu was alive. Or she knows that Tsuyu is dead. But I don't know who took... like, it's very possible that Yuza mentioned in the other line, but the fact that she just said that... Huh? What is it? Are you trying to remember something? Ordinary here. This is fun. Ah, damn it, what is it? I can't remember. Whoa, don't scare me like that. Yeah, right? Right? I'm just like, I don't want to be looking at this tiny mirror because I'm also going to be very hyper focused on that mirror. Maybe, but the way that the caller made it sound like she was like really, really ready to be the ready to kill people. Or the assassin's ready to really like, oh man, I can't wait to kill people. But I mean, the person on the phone could also be saying some bullshit too. Like, doesn't mean that everything that he says is completely accurate. Tsukasa, what's the matter? I guess the shock made me forget. Right before it happened, Yusa realized something important, but I'm blanking on it now. Huh? Something important? Yeah, Yusa said he figured out the condition that the curse needed to affect someone. He said something about people being marked by something. I can't really remember. He was about to say who the culprit was too, and then, well, that happened to him. Marked. I can't remember. Just thinking about that moment's making me sick. Oh no, Tsukasa, it's okay. Don't force yourself to remember. I won't, but still, I do remember one thing he said. He thought that the curse could only target women from the island, but now that he was targeted... Hold on a sec. I think I see what he's getting at. Sato, did you figure something out? You could use a mirror. Pocket mirror. Yeah, you're right. This makes sense. Sense for you, would it? Kameshimaru. A Kameshimaru? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's got to be the Kameshimaru hand mirror. So it's specifically the mark. Oh, so you already figured it out? Yusa took that mirror out of his pocket right before it happened. He lifted it up above his neck, and then... He lifted it up to about his neck, and then his head was chopped off. And when I was attacked, I had a hand mirror in my jacket pocket, too. That's gotta be it. Didn't they say those hand mirrors were handed out to everyone on the island? Whoa, Azami, you feeling okay now? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. But if we're this close to finding out who did all this, then there's no time to be moping around. First things first, if either of you still have that mirror, get rid of it now. Oh, good point. That is true. See, like, that was another thing that thought me, maybe that's why it's like, he did it. But, like, also... We don't know that the assassin is working with Unkakedono, right? Because, like, the guy on the collar said, please join me. Or else, whatever. But also, maybe he is working for Unkakedono, right? Like, so, there's some things that, like, just because information is contradicting doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be real. Because you have to take people at their face value. And some of these people aren't necessarily trustworthy enough. So, Sato, you figured it out, haven't you? The one behind this curse? The assassin who used the curse to kill so many? No, sorry, I hadn't figured out that much yet. Oh, I just figured it had to be whoever handed out those mirrors, no? Yeah, so that makes sense, so then... But, like... Has to be Kikuko, right? You're saying she never actually died? Wait, you're saying Kikuko was killed too? Yeah, we saw her lying in a pool of blood by the jetty. You did. I was just there earlier. Oh! I remember seeing the large blood stain, but no body. Really? I guess someone must have moved her? In all this chaos, Who's got time to move a body with everyone panicking like this? Where would they even move her? There are so many dead. We barely have the time or space to lay low and cover them up. Okay, she's not actually dead. Because, like, I was wondering. Because, like, when they said it had to be someone who was, like, you know, came back to the island. But I was like, oh, but she died in that scene. There's so many dead. We barely have the time or space to lay folks down and cover them up. That's true. Then maybe she never actually died. Managed to get up and walk off on her own? But if Kikuko is the assassin, why would she let herself get hit by the curse's attack? Why did she manage to get up from death? I mean, I doubt it, but maybe she's immortal like you, Sato? What? No way. Huh? What was that? You said it so casually, but I could have sworn you just said Sato is immortal? Well, it's kind of a long story, but yeah, that's basically what it boils down to. So that's what happened earlier. That explains what everyone was talking about. I still don't think there are others like me out there. You think so? Is it really that rare? I don't have any frame of reference. I have another theory that's more likely. Asami, did you get a good look at Kikuko's wounds? I mean, not really. It was pretty dark out, and we were kind of panicking. Wait, are you saying that maybe she wasn't hurt at all? The most likely explanation is that she got up after faking her death. Maybe she faked being a victim using fake blood or something to avoid suspicion. So she waited for others to see her, and then she just slipped away from in the confusion? That would also check out, because she was the one who, like, saw, like, after, what's her name? Tsuyu died, she was there, right? She saw and panicked and ran, right? Oh, thanks for the resub, Pizza Potent. Always appreciate it. Hope you are doing well. I know you don't have time to stick around, but, oh, thanks for the resub. Really appreciate it. Just, you know, yeah. Oh, guess the cat's out of the bag. Huh? Kikuko, you really are still alive? I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's not too bad. Like, hopefully it's, like, you know, treatable. And, he can recover well. Yep, hate to break it to you, but I ain't immortal or anything or fancy like that. Just fake blood is all. I was hiding up in the lighthouse, but then I heard you all talking. So I figured I may as well come out. Too bad you figured it all out. There really is no turning back for me now. Sato, I was told to bring you in, even if it means killing every last person on the island. Hey, it's the shadow. Doesn't matter, we already tossed those damn mirrors. The curse can't touch us now. Just so you know, I've got your friend Tsukasa Awao marked even now. You're the one person I cannot forgive. Huh? I am? How? The cursed target wasn't just tied to the hand mirrors? She's bluffing. Sato, get behind me. I'm not letting her take you. It's pointless. Disobey me and Tsukasa will be first to die. Options? Can I just sit here? No, I surrender. I'll go with you quietly. What? Sato, what are you saying? Now's not time to be joking. I know. I haven't made up my mind. I can't let anyone else get killed because of me. There's no resisting this curse. It's too strong. Sato, no! Good. Smart choice. Otherwise, everyone on the island would have perished. Kikuko, why are you doing this? You grew up here too. Does this place mean nothing to you? I guess I have some feelings for this place. But if I didn't sever those ties, my world would never change. What the hell are you talking about? He's the only one who ever sparked a change in my miserable excuse for a life. Now he's finally acknowledged me. I'll become who I was meant to be. That's your reason for all this? This island never cared about people. Always blamed everything on curses. Surely you understand wanting to destroy the shithole. I just took up the reins. Someone needed to break the cycle. Now I can finally start living my own life, free from all that bullshit. Anyway, we need to get moving. There's a boat waiting out back. If you follow us, I'll kill Tsukasa. Do yourselves a favor and stay right here, okay? Thank you, both of you. Please do not try to follow. It's too dangerous. Oh wait, that was Sato. That was Sato. She wouldn't be so... God damn it. No, Sato. Unfortunately. I can't have people knowing my identity just walking away. Especially not you, Tsukasa. This is a freaking bad ending. The following day, the bodies of Azami, Kimoi, and Tsukasa Awao were found beneath the lighthouse collapsed together in a lifeless heap. Azami, who had been helping search for the curse's mark, tried to take Tsukasa's place, but ended up caught in the curse instead. But the tragedy that struck Kamishima didn't end there. Right after the assassin left Kamishima with Sato Shiranami, a new calamity followed. A violent storm, born of the curse of the raging waves, erupted in the sea around the island. As expected, the curse cannot be sealed away by the bronze mirror alone. Ferocious winds and towering waves pounded the island for 3 days and nights, leaving devastation in their wake. Most islanders who had tried to flee the tragedy by boat that night were lost to the storm and remain missing to this day. Among them was the assassin behind the incident. And Sato Shiranami, who went along with her. She was never to be seen again. Ending 1, the tragedy of Kamishima. Guess we didn't see it. Yeah, no one lives. Actually, you know what? The way that what's her name? Kikuko talked about Tsukasa. I do think, yeah, it is Unkakidono that she's working for, because given that the Unkakidono is Tsukasa's dad, and sounds like, you know, they got dinner, getting attention. She would probably be jealous of that, you know. So you have a heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. And so the affair surrounding Kamishima has reached one of its possible conclusions. Sadly, it seems neither Yuza Minakuchi nor Sato Shiranami were able to achieve their goals. To avoid arriving at this particular outcome, please continue progressing through the story chart. After all, you came here for that very purpose, did you not? Or my, are you perhaps still unsure of who you are? No need to worry. I'm confident you'll remember in time. You're just missing a few key pieces. As you travel along the story chart and shape what happens, perhaps you'll remember your part in this. Be sure to think on it as you move forward. Well then, I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Farewell for now. Yeah, for real. Just want to check something here. Like, I'll start from Kikuko conversation. I guess we'll find out. Can't wait for get her a present from Kikuko from. I was wondering if we could refuse the mirror. And what would happen? Yeah, we unlocked this, but we can't go into it just yet. Okay. Time for Buddy here. Discovering the mermaids of Ise Bay. I was like, which one did we unlock first? Did we unlock this and then we get back here or something like that? A cheerful fantasy author sets off on a trip to visit the mermaid legends of Ise Bay with his relative, Shushe Lunalight, as his guide. After much hustle and bustle, we finally managed to make our way to Ise Bay. Nice. Take it all in. Now, we're standing on the coast of Nakabeppo, yeah, in Mie Prefecture's Kawage town. Which means this is the Sea of Ise, the connection to the eternal world. How amazing. Indeed it is. Come, Shushe, henceforth begins our grand adventure in search of the legendary mermaids of Ise Bay. How amazing. I can't stop saying it. Without further ado, my name is Arnav Barnum, an American-born fantasy author. Please, call me Avi. Who are you introducing yourself to, weirdo? Oh, well, I simply thought a new beginning called for a little dramatic flair, you know? Oh, sure. With that out of the way, perhaps my darling guide can provide some insight into the goings on of this locale. Sure, I've got you covered. Well, this area is now called Nakabeppo. Long ago, it was a region of Ise province known as Betsuho. Records indicate that 3 mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net along this coast back in the Heian period. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Let's hear about those mermaids. They had human heads with mouths of monkeys and teeth and bodies of fish. They spoke and even shed tears like humans. Could these be the fish mermaids you mentioned before, Avi? Indubitably. Yes, this must be the place. I'm getting goosebumps. Right? I feel the same way. This is so exciting. Good question. We did hear about Anue earlier. Betsuo is the old name for the area now known as Nakabeppo Kawage town in the Agai district. So named during the events of the story, it has since merged with Tsu City of Mie Prefecture. Said to have been the territory of Tara no Kiyomori's father, Taira no Tadamori. The area has a deep connection to the Issei Heike. It is also said to be the location where 3 mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net and presented to Taira no Tadamori during the Heian period. The endless expanse of the Issei Sea, the eternal world may lie just beyond this horizon. After all, Issei province is the land whither repair the waves from the eternal world. The eternal world is purported to be a perpetual paradise, a separate plane from the world we live in, yes? Could it be that mermaids hail from such a place? We've come all this way to a distant foreign land seeking mermaids. Of course, I have my own reasons for trying to locate the mythical creatures. But for now, I intend to scour this land in order to learn as much as I can about its lore and legends. But it occurred to me that I never actually explained the particulars of my Issei Bay mermaid excursion to the girl. No matter. It's nothing of consequence, really. So I'll just introduce my reasons a bit at a time. Nickname, Ave. Okay, I spoke a code. Right, it's up there. I don't remember how much I read. I do remember, like, they don't sell well number books here. The Fiend of Ringgit and the Solar Crow, Hermod's Travel, and the Bon Appetit, the Phantom Gourmand series. Although a grown man, he still has a certain naive boyishness. Wait, let me just check something here. Okay, yeah, so everything here is pretty new, because, like, they had both nothing. He believes that any circumstance... Oh, sorry. Although a grown man, he still has a certain naive boyishness to him, most evident in his passion for romantic tales and appetite for chasing his dreams. However, this also comes with an equivalent amount of immaturity, making him somewhat troublesome to deal with. He believes that any circumstance he finds himself in, it will sort itself out. An optimistic creed that often sees him casually throwing himself into difficult situations, and he remains impressively unbothered even in those situations. He does find himself in trouble, often managing to slip out of danger with nary a dent in his usual carefree attitude. That he's made it this far unscathed is largely owed to sheer luck, although he remains blissfully unaware of this. He is currently in Japan seeking mermaid flesh, which is believed to grant immortality. His reasons are simple: a fascination with the occult and a pure pursuit he feels is worthy of devoting his entire life to. Indeed, he is primarily driven by his pursuit of romantic ideals. If he finds something suitably inspiring, he will readily risk his life for it, and is willing to change his views just as quickly for the same. His interest in the occult was born when he discovered his great-grandmother's vast collection of mysterious occult artifacts in the storage of his family's home in America. Among them was a mermaid mummy, which yielded a mysterious map when taken apart. A discovery which captivated his imagination and led to his current quest. This great-grandmother happened to be a relative of the main Lunar Light family in England, albeit one who had chosen not to succeed the family estate. After discovering this through independent research of his lineage, Avi made contact with the Lunar Light family, and continues to maintain a secret correspondence with them to this day. This young lady is a distant relative of mine, the third daughter of the Lunar Light family. The Lunar Lights have been in the business of demonic exorcism in England for several generations now. As such, the young Saoirse has received education on this rare subject from a young age and is now an apprentice exorcist. In order to continue her training, or more likely, simply because her interest in the area, Saoirse has come to Japan to study abroad. Hearing upon such news, I sought to employ her as my guide for this mermaid hunting expedition to Ise Bay. She is apparently quite fond of Japanese myths and folk tales and has already explored a number of areas concerned with the occult. Interested in visiting Mie Prefecture at least once during her stay, she immediately agreed to my request. Yeah, had a feeling we're... And this? She's an exchange in Japan, possessible and willful nature. She harbors an ardent interest in Japanese folklore and occult stories. She is quick to involve herself in anything that interests her, not stopping until her curiosity has been completely sated. Although she can be fairly blunt, she shows a naivety appropriate to her age around those she's comfortable with, and is not above the occasional prank. Saoirse is the third daughter of Sierra Lunarlight, the current head of the matrilineal Lunarlight family, a long line of exorcists based in England. Along with her two older sisters, she has received a specialized education in exorcism ever since she was a child, and is currently training as an apprentice. As the beings known as demons in the West ultimately share the same root cause as harmful supernatural phenomena in the East, the spirits of the dead, strong thoughts, and curses. What she does as an exorcist is fundamentally the same as what Japanese psychics do, only the methods and terminology differing. Here's our primary spiritual abilities. Sorry. Guardian spirits, the ability to call upon numerous guardian spirits of the Lunarlight family and invoke their powers to exorcise spirits and negate certain psychic abilities. Shikigami, the ability to turn a piece of paper with an individual's name written on it into a butterfly, which will return to the individual in question. Though she does not have to be the one who wrote the name, it must be Saoirse who casts the spell on the paper. Dowsing, the ability to use a pendulum to search for a target based on the user consents of their spiritual power. The effective distance of the spell depends on the strength of the target's spiritual power. Although she's supposed to be in care of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, a confidential Japanese institute, during her time in Japan, Saoirse has been spending more time traveling the country sightseeing than working through her training curriculum. The supervisor in charge of her training has all but given up on trying to manage her as a result, resolving to keep an eye on her, but otherwise not interfering as such. As such, she's afforded a relatively high level of freedom. Saoirse is an ardent fan of Mio Suzu, a girl with potent spirit sense, and her senior in the industry in Japan. Good old Mio. She harbors both strong admiration and strong feelings of rivalry towards her in equal measure. But it is not uncommon for her to end up a babbling mess when the topic turns to the other girl. She treasures the photograph she took with Mio upon first meeting her in Tokyo, and keeps it with her at all times. Oh man, that'll be funny to see her just get loose composure. Yeah, I'm really curious about the manga. Let's talk about this place. Kawagi Town might be located right next to Mie Prefecture's modern capital, Sioux City. But there's something there's something you have to keep in mind. This is also the birthplace of the Heike, a branch of the Heian period's preeminent Taira clan. We're going to talk about Ise province, then you absolutely have to mention the Heike. I do have a passing understanding of the topic. The Heike took part in the Genpei War, correct? That's right. That was the war in the Heian period, where two great samurai families, the Minamoto and the Taira, locked horns and really got into it. Among the Heike, Taira no Kiyomori was a particular famous figure who appeared in many creative works concerning the event. His father, Taira no Tadamori, was the one responsible for securing the Heike's high social standing. So Tadamori was Kiyomori's father, right? With names like that, how can anyone hope to keep them straight? That's history for you. I'm afraid you just have to memorize them. I suppose you're right about that. Then memorize them I shall. Apparently, Tadamori was born in Sioux City, Sioux City. Hey, your grandmother has an entire city to herself called Ubushina. Ah, so that's why they call this area the birthplace of the Heike. Ah, this is just the city located sector of the Ise Plain in the capital of Mie Prefecture, also known as Anosu. Previously known as Anosu. Sioux City has served as a port town since the Heian period, after which it continued to flourish as an important port city for Japan. Sioux City is also known as the birthplace of the Heike. The Ubushina area in its suburbs to be where Taira no Kiyomori's father, Taira no Tadamori, was born. Yeah, I'm gonna have trouble keeping those names. Let's talk about this place still. This is the metropolitan center of Mie and a locus of historical events. I guess that makes it the perfect place to start a new journey. Can we get back to those mermaids you mentioned? What became of the 3 that were caught in the fishing nets? At the time, the lord of this area was Taira no Tadamori. You didn't already forget him, did you? Well, the fisherman thought the mermaids were a fascinating find, so he placed 2 of them in boxes and presented them to Tadamori. Oh, Lord Tadamori must have been well pleased by that. How could he not be? It was known that eating the flesh of a mermaid grants eternal life. Actually, Tadamori evidently said they were disturbing and gross and refused to accept them. Ha! What a waste! However, the fisherman cut up the remaining mermaid and ate it himself. So what happened to him? Well, the fisherman said it was pretty tasty. Well now, tasty is it? And that's all I got. That's it? That's all I could find in the existing records. Then the act of eating a mermaid's flesh alone may not produce any results. I suppose then there may be other requisite conditions, wouldn't you say? Well, considering the sheer number of eyewitness reports concerning mermaids, it is odd that there aren't more immortals walking around. There don't seem to be any records about what happened to the mermaids that Tadamori refused to accept. I suppose it's possible someone in the Heike clan snuck off with them. Now that's a hypothesis I can get behind. I put together an assortment of files concerning the Heike, so feel free to give them a look if you're interested. You have my heartfelt gratitude. Wow, files updated. I totally didn't see that coming. Oh boy. Taira no Tadamori, the father of Taira no Kiyomori, an influential figure in the Heian period, was the man responsible for solidifying the social standing of the Ise Taira clan, and was notable for being the first samurai permitted to enter the imperial court. entering of entering the imperial court meant granted access to the Tenjo no Ma, a chamber where those who directly serve the emperor performed their official duties. In an era where the warrior class was still considered of low status, a samurai rising to the level of court official was unprecedented. The Issei Taira clan went on to extend its influence across various provinces, with the vast wealth it gained through trade of the Song dynasty of China, solidifying its foundation. This significant influence was later inherited by his son, Kiyomori. Tadamori was said to have been a man of strong will and perseverance, yet despite the power he amassed in his lifetime, he was also said to have been modest and disinclined to indulge in luxuries. So she said, yeah, right? No, if she like existed like in like the 2020s, she would definitely have like, well, I guess it wouldn't be like manga and stuff, but she'd probably have like a lot of the like, she would have very specific, I think, tastes. Like, I think she would absolutely love like Jujito and whatnot. Tadamori's sword, an heirloom passed down through the Taira clan, originally named Kogarashi. It is said to have became known as the Nukamaru when the giant snake emerged from a lake and made to swallow Tadamori whole as he lay resting. Wait, what? When the giant snake emerged from a lake and made to swallow Tadamori. Oh, it was going to, yeah. At that moment, Kogarashi, which Tadamori had left leaning nearby, slipped from its scabbard of its own accord and drove the snake away. The name Nukemaru derives from the verb nuku, which meaning to unsheath, and reflects the sword's extraordinary act of slipping from its scabbard on its own to save its owner. Nukemaru was later inherited by Tadamori's son, Yorimori. Cool. But after the downfall of the Taira clan, it is said to have changed hands several times, and its whereabouts are currently unknown. The Mermaid of Betsuo. Yeah, for real. One time when Tadamori was visiting Betsuo, in Issei province, 3 creatures with heads of humans, the lips of monkeys, and teeth and bodies of fish were caught in the local fishermen's nets, dubbing these creatures Ningyo, the original Japanese word for mermaid. The fishermen put 2 of them in a box and that had washed up with them and presented them to Tadamori. However, Tadamori was unnerved by their appearance and refused to accept them. It is said that the remaining mermaid was cut up and eaten by the fishermen, who found them to be delicious. There's one thing I should warn you about, though. This group sometimes gets referred to as Issei Taira as well, which makes things a little confusing. I'll go ahead and label it all as Heike. Does it really matter? Aren't they basically the same thing? Not exactly. You see, the term Issei Taira refers to the Taira clan as a whole because it originated in Issei. On the other hand, people generally refer to the family within the clan, including Tadamori and Kiyomori, simply as the Heike. Their family features prominently in the stories we're interested in, so I'll use Heike most of the time. Plus, it has a nice ring to it. Either way works for me, so do as you like. The tale of Heike also used... Wait a sec. The tale of Heike also used Heike. You're awfully particular about this, but I rather like that kind of fastidiousness. Ah, I see. The fish with the long ice. Okay, okay. Anyway, after a number of events, the Heike would go on to lose the Battle of Danoura and be completely eradicated. Ah, I believe I know this one. Danoura is found in Kyushu, is it not? Bingo. The clan was chased out of Kyoto and pushed further and further west until they were eventually wiped out there. It pains me to think such a resplendent, glorious clan meeting such an ignominious end. More's the pity. Also, every time he like turns and like you can see the line of his Adam's apple there, I keep thinking like something's like dripping from his neck. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the brushstroke is so thick. Even though, you know, most of the brushstrokes are like thick and... That's why the Heike's resentment is particularly strong, and many remnants of it remain even today. Right? Did Abby say it last time too? Is this just his favorite like word? Shrines and monuments have even been erected throughout the land in an attempt to quell that resentment. Ah, now we reach your particular field of expertise. Because the clan fell from such an exalted position so abruptly, that resentment is exceptionally persistent and quite pervasive. That said, famous places related to people like Taira no Kiyomori as well are well attended by worshippers, so they're relatively stable. It's the puffed up and pretentious Heike clan members that no one even remembers who cause the most trouble. I seem to recall a number of individuals going so far as to claim that those outside of the Heike clan could not even be considered human. If that's the case, are we really safe here? You don't know. We might find ourselves assailed by by these lingering grudges. Much of Ise province is protected by shrines, and the area is suffused with spiritual energy, so we're probably safer here than most places. But that's just the land itself. Objects or people that the resentment has seeped into are a different story altogether. That's somewhat troubling to hear. Well, either way you look at it, this region is still the home to many places and things associated with the Heike. Excellent. I believe we've gotten to the grasp with the situation at hand. It's time we made our way to the next locale. We're on the clock after all. Let's get to it. To Ano Town. So we're standing in the middle of the road. Well, it would seem that we've arrived. And where are we now, Shirshi? This is an area in Ano Town known as Kusawa. Kusawa was quite famous because of the Yao Bikuni legend. I'd be surprised if there was anyone who hasn't heard it. I'm sorry to say I've never heard of it. Wait, really? Ah, man, even she gets her own, like, what the fuck face? Come now, don't act so shocked. You can't expect me to know every little thing. And besides, I'm not even from this country. The very reason I requested you to be my guide was so that you could teach me all about things like this. I guess that's true. Okay, I understand. Yeah, but Avi's not a weeb. He just likes the occult and mermaids. I'll be counting on your explanations. That said, if he's like curious about mermaids and such, he probably should have known. Ano Town is located in the Age district, the Mie prefecture, located at the fort Kyogamini. no, Kyogamine, a mountain with a single, not 819-meter peak. The land surrounding it is rich in natural splendor, with multiple hot springs welling forth from the earth around it. From the Edo period until the Meiji period, it was known for being the primary place of production sumoji, a delicate fabric woven in such a way as to be semi-transparent. This is a nice little area. The fabled beauty of the serene Japanese countryside. It really is charming. Yes, the incessant chirping, chirruping of locusts combined with the unrelenting heat. This is Japanese summer, alright? It's fascinating to think that such a peaceful place could be home to such profound historical events. It's practically jittering with excitement. I can see that. Let's try to keep a cool head, shall we? What's down there? Some sort of shrine? The shrine is apparently dedicated to Sugawara no Michizane. We should go pay our respects before we leave. If Yao Bikuni really did exist, I wonder what sort of life she led. I can't begin to imagine what it would be like to live for hundreds of years. As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose it could be considered a guardian of sorts. Even so, I often find myself caught up in her pace and completely thrown off guard. Well, we'll just have to wait for her to get released in like 2028. If anyone should be shaking things up around here, it ought to be me. The legend of Yao Bikuni originated here in Kusawa, Ano Town. Long, long ago, a 17-year-old girl named Osato lived in this village. She unknowingly ingested the meat of a mermaid and was served during a village gathering and became immortal. After subsequently being persecuted by other villagers, she became a nun and made a pilgrimage around the country. At the end of the story, she eventually returns to this village and lived out of the rest of her very long life. Tales told in other parts of the country play out in almost exactly the same fashion. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yao Bikuni. The tale of Yao Bikuni. Bikuni. I don't know how that would the distinct pronunciation there. Who acquired preternatural longevity after eating the flesh of a mermaid, can be found in almost every region of Japan. Although the exact details vary greatly between regions, they all share the same fundamental element. A girl who ate mermaid flesh lived for 800 years. The Yabikuni legend passed down in Mie Prefecture is as follows. Once upon a time, a beautiful girl named Osato lived in Kusawa village. One day when Osato was 17, the flesh of a mermaid was served at a village gathering. The other villagers, disturbed at the thought of eating such a strange creature, refused to eat it, but Osato unknowingly ate the mermaid's flesh. From that moment on, Osato didn't age a day. Shunned by the other villagers and treated as a monster, she was eventually forced to leave the village. Becoming a nun, Osato traveled the length and breadth of Japan for hundreds of years before eventually returning to Kusawa village, where her long life at last came to an end. Yeah, there must be some kind of distinction, right? The legend of Yao Bikuni, the girl who ate the flesh of the mermaid and lived 800 years, has been passed down all over Japan. Not only here, in Mie Prefecture, Ano Town, but in Fukui, Aichi, and Gifu prefectures as well. In total, the story has been found in 121 locations in 28 prefectures throughout the country, or at least that's what certain research has indicated. Doesn't that seem like a lot? Were there really that many different Yao Bikunis out there? Obviously not. Not all legends can be true. But I actually have a theory on the subject. Would you like to hear it? By all means. Most of the legends refer to a woman who stopped aging and lived for 800 years after consuming the meat of a mermaid. At that point, because others would find it strange she wasn't getting any older, she wasn't able to live in normal society anymore. I suppose that would be natural. It would explain why she withdrew from the world and became a nun. Exactly. And that's how she got the name Yao Bikuni, the 800-year-old Bikuni nun. With 800 years on her hand, she could have easily made a pilgrimage around the country. How interesting. Buddhist priests are known for their trekking throughout the land as a form of ascetic training. And if we consider the 121 locations where the legend was found, with 800 years to spare, she could have spent 6 years in each location. 6 years would certainly be enough time for her to make a name for herself in each and every location, right? Oh, my dear. I believe I see what you're getting at. Your theory posits the story that Yao Bikuni that have been passed down in every corner of the country all refer to the exact same individual. Yeah, well, she completed her math minor, so she has to use it. Well, it might be a bit much to say that all of them are the same. There might have been a few different people, but it's more convincing than the theory that there were 121 people. I think that the Yao Bikuni of Wakasa province is most likely the origin of the legend. I wonder. Don't all the different instances of the story throughout Japan also claim that particular location as her place of final rest? That may be true, but I assume each of those different places wanted to have a grave or some other tangible marker to base the legend on. But with so many people that are purported to have lived 800 years all die around the same time, it seems pretty unlikely. Then you believe some of the tales were embellished somewhat? That sort of thing happens all the time. Legends are always a mixture of truth and fantasy. Moreover, it doesn't make sense that every single immortal would decide to become a nun. There are likely some places that simply believed Yao Bikini was the term for an immortal, rather than a nun, for all we know. She said, for all we know, she said, I'm a... I was just reading, I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh my god, it's a pun. Rather than a nun, all we know is she said, I'ma be none of that, and became an ama diver. But there we go. That's actually pretty insightful. Many legends are based on simple somatic misunderstandings. Oh, now just wait just a minute. I won't stand here and let my dumb joke actually become a salient point of discussion. Let's drop it then. But still, if one were somehow to live for 800 years, I just like sure she was just like, oh, that's a pretty good point. It's like, no, the joke. Acknowledge the joke. A person that became immortal after the Kamakura period would still be alive today. True. And if so, I'd love to sit them down for a long chat. Can Kurosawa's legend of Yao Bikuni really be true? There must be falsehoods and fictions mixed into the tale, surely. Who knows? Ise province isn't that far from Wakasa province, after all. She may have simply walked here from there. In fact, that the story from each different area are so similar that the fact that the stories from each different area are so similar does make me wonder if they didn't get mixed together somehow. You think the legend may be an amalgamation of stories from various locations? Exactly, but then again, the immortal in which story from this location has her own name, which gives the legend a certain verisimilitude. Indeed it does. Well, I guess we can assume that a girl with that name really did live here long ago. Then something must have happened to make people believe that she had become immortal. It's reasonable to assume her story then got mixed up with various legends of Yao Bikuni from around the country before being passed down. Of course, the exact timing of these events is still unclear, but it does present an interesting possibility. She could very well still be living in this village. Wouldn't that be a compelling development? Leave it to an occult writer to think of something like that. That's right. You're seeing the prodigious imaginative power of a fantasy author in action. Yes, it's really something. But the fact of the matter is that almost no traces of Yao Bikuni remain in this village. Even her grave, which is referred to as Lady Yao's tomb, has never been located. But then, did we come all this way for nothing? Let's talk about another topic. Well, it might not have a direct connection, but there is something one should always consider when discussing Issei. The Tales of Issei. Have you heard of it? It's the oldest extant collection of Japanese verse, compiled sometime during the Heian period. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it, but I have heard the tale of Genji and the tale of Heike. Is it anything like those? Well, those were also stories written during the Heian period, but that's where the similarities end. Nice try, though. Humph. Well, they sound similar enough anyway. Don't worry, I'm not an expert on the subject matter either. Basically, this collection of verse elaborates on a number of waka poems by giving accounts of all the events surrounding each one. The entire collection of 125 passages is referred to as the Tales of Issei. That's easy enough to remember now. The Tales of Issei is a collection of short stories. Check. One more thing. The title might be The Tales of Issei, but the content isn't all that focused on the actual area. What's this now? Are they intentionally attempting to confuse and bewilder us? Yeah, just because she has more knowledge than the average still doesn't make her an expert. That's a very important distinction. That's an important thing to acknowledge. A lot of people should acknowledge these things. Some believe that the title comes from the fact that the passage 69 is set in Issei province. Nice. At any rate, I just thought I should bring it up because it does have at least a slight bearing on the topic at hand. If you're keen on to learn more, I'll add more detailed information to the files. Why, thank you. I'll be sure to read through them later. Later? More like right now. Holy shit. The Tales of Issei. A collection of verse, or Uta Monogatari, thought to be the oldest surviving work in Japan. It is particularly well known. It is particularly well known for the opening sentence of many of its prose passages. Long ago, there was a man. Believed to have been compiled in the Heian period, it greatly influenced literature of its era, or of the era, including famous works such as the Tale of Genji. The central figure of the narrative is speculated to be a fictionalized version of Ariwara no Nirahara, a poet of the Heian period, with the prose passages serving as a biography for the character. Both the author and its exact date of publication are unknown. The narrative spans 125 episodes, which vary in length from a few lines to several pages. It covers the life of a man from his coming of age to his death. It focuses primarily on the protagonist and the people around him, particularly his romantic dalliances with women. Some of its most famous episodes are summarized below. Episode 1. Uiko Buri, having come of age, a man sets out on a ceremonial falconry excursion where he catches sight of two beautiful sisters. Infatuated, he cuts off the sleeves of his robe, inscribes a waka poem on it, and sends it to them. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Just like, oh, well, this episode is like it's like the length of 4 episodes, and then this one is like, well, it's 2 minutes. Whoops. A man having finally succeeded in stealing away a beautiful noble woman, flees with her to a warehouse where they take shelter from the rain. However, the man discovers in the morning that she has disappeared, devoured by a demon that inhabited the warehouse. One of these is going to be important at some point, because the Osato thing was like, oh, well, shit. Episode 9, Azuma Kudari. Feeling despondent about his future, a man embarks on a journey to the east with a group of friends. In Mikawa province, he catches sight of some beautiful flowers and reflects on how far his journey has brought him and recites a poem. In Tsuruga province, he sees the snow on the peak of Mount Fuji, contemplates the passage of time, and recites a poem. In Musashi province, he spots an unfamiliar bird on the shores of the Sumida River, recalls his wife and hometown, and recites a poem. His friends all weep upon hearing the latter, moved by his feelings for his faraway home. Episode 23. Tsutsui Zutsu. That's a fun thing to say. 2 minutes. Yeah, right? Just like you spend more time watching the opening and ending. Close friends from childhood, a man and a woman exchange poems and are wed. But when the man prepares to travel to faraway Kawachi province to visit his other lover, the woman displays no hint of displeasure as she sees him off on his journey. Suspicious of her actions, the man hides in their garden and watches as his wife makes herself up as beautifully as she can. But when she then sits and recites poems out of concern for her traveling husband, he feels a profound shame and decides not to go to Kawachi. She's just like, damn, I can't betray this. I can't. Look at her. Look at her. Episode 69, Kari no Tsukai. Having been sent to Ise province to hunt game, a man is received with great hospitality by the imperial princess, serving as priestess at Ise shrine. Attracted to each other, the two attempt to meet in secret, but can find no opportunity to speak intimately. Although they promise one another to meet the following day, it is not meant to be. The two exchange poems on farewell before the man sets off out to continue his journey. Episode 95, Hikoboshi. Having fallen in love with a woman who serves in the imperial court, a man finally manages to reach a fight to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are separated by a screen. The man recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater than Hikoboshi's love for Orihime. He compares the screen separating them to the Milky Way that separates the two legendary lovers. Moved by his words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. Hikoboshi, yeah, exactly. There's one other thing we can learn from the Tales of Issei. Adding the tale of to a book title really classes things up. You should keep that in mind. It was apparently all the rage during the Heian period. Oh, I couldn't agree more. My next work is certainly going to be the Tale of, but not Tales of. My people might get confused. Well then, I suppose that brings this particular subject to a close. On to the next. No rest for the wicked, I say. Time to tackle the next mermaid myth. Sure. Yeah, so true. Here I find our next subject of inquiry. What place might this be, my dear? This is Futami Gaora, the coastline that lies beside Futami Town, just over from Issei City. This is where we run into the other group. Then we finally penetrated the outskirts of Issei City proper. Things are certainly beginning to heat up. I inferred that Issei City was the prefectural capital from the fact that Mie Prefecture was once known as Issei Province. Not bad, eh? Ah, well, I understand how you would arrive at that conclusion. The truth is, Mie Prefecture is composed of 4 separate provinces: Issei, Shima, Iga, and Ki. Ah, is that so? But, I guess it's probably like Ki, because like it's like 2 eyes, right? So it'd be elongated, maybe? I don't know. But that doesn't change the fact that Issei City is regarded as the spiritual capital of Japan, making it a very important location. Very interesting, but the sun has already begun its steady descent, so perhaps we should pick up this pace a bit? Yeah, this is where the mermaid is found. Futami Gaora Sea is famously said to purify the body. So many visitors to Issei Shrine come here as well. The scenic beauty of the location has even been featured in poems of it from antiquity. It certainly seems, it's certainly easy on the eyes. The strands of pine trees along the shore make it for quite the striking image. To make it even better, the embankment we're standing on offers a 360-degree view of Issei Bay. It makes you want to get out on the very edge to take it all in. It really does. Being surrounded by the bay like this is such an enchanting feeling. What a breathtaking view. As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose I could be considered a guardian of sorts. Even so, I found myself caught up in her pace and completely thrown off guard. If anyone should be shaking things up around here, it ought to be me. Of course, I have my own reasons for trying to locate the mythical creatures, but for now, I intend to scour this land in order to learn as much as I can about its lore and legends. Talk about the Futami Gaora mermaids. So, Does this place have any legends featuring mermaids? It does. A record called the Kaganki was written by people at Horyuji Temple after the Kamakura period. In that record, there are a total of 6 instances of information concerning mermaids. 6A, that's certainly promising. Will's entries described a sighting here in Futami, Ise province on April 3rd during the second era of the Inbun era, which would be 1357. So they even noted the exact date. How fortuitous. The passage is as follows. From the sea of Futami in Ise province came Enmeiju, delivering perpetuity. So, what exactly does that mean? My guess is that a mermaid was spotted in the sea by Futami, and it was named Enmeiju, meaning health and long life, because it granted longevity. Aha! It granted longevity, did it? Finally, we're getting to the good stuff. Yes, another account relating mermaids to Yao Bikuni. It seems the idea of mermaids granting immortality had already been established at that time. Indeed. And now we even have a name. I keep doing that sometimes. It's just like I'm like going to like screw the cap and then like it's not like properly on, so when I twist it just like flies off. So, what sort of mermaid was this, and what became of it? No clue. Again with the vague records, these people write down the appearance of some fantastical creature and then just let it wander off. I haven't personally gone over every bit of research on the matter, but I can speculate on the answer. Records of mermaids in other places is often referred to them by name. In fact, it may not have been all that uncommon for these people in the area to encounter them when these records were written. Let me see. If I follow your meaning, the same mermaid would appear repeatedly, leading people in the area to grow accustomed to it. Am I on the right track? Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't bother giving a name to something you only saw once after all. These people may have even come to have a kind of rapport with the mermaids. At the very least, it doesn't appear as though they were trying to capture any. Mermaids that people didn't want to capture. Then they were seeking its flesh. Perhaps there was a way of obtaining immortality even without the meat? Maybe mermaid meat was just tasty and nothing more. And if that were the case, then it makes perfect sense that they would view the mermaid as a divine creature. So they treat it as an auspicious being that blessed others with long life. You may be onto something here. So let me just go check something here. Okay. This made me think that the theory about how there might be 2 different kinds of mermaids. Oh, you remembered. I stand by my theory. There is the fish mermaid, which looks more like an aquatic monster or a beastie. Then the human mermaid, which resembles a demi-human or nymph. Indeed, that's the simplest way to describe it anyhow. Assuming the mermaid in question had a name, formed relationships with humans and granted longevity, it stands to reason that it was the human mermaid variety. You have a point. The mermaids we have encountered thus far all have been caught in nets and appear to be more like fish mermaids. It seems more likely then that the mermaids who grant longevity are actually the human mermaids. Interesting. That in turn would suggest... My word. Does that mean one could become immortal without eating their flesh? I'm not sure. There are countless legends that that reference the need to consume their flesh. But I can't help but feel like there's more to it. If human mermaids were capable of communicating with us, I'd really like to speak to one. Agreed. The mermaid has taken on quite a different appearance in modern folk tales. Yeah, a little bit. Ah, speaking of which, this is entirely unrelated, but there's something I've been wondering. Do you mind? But what? But our conversation was just getting good. Protest all you like, but I shall ask anyway. On our way here, I noticed a certain something adorning the entrances to everyone's houses. What was that? Oh, right. Those are Somin Shorai talismans. Somin Shorai? That's what he said, yeah? Yeah, Somin Shorai. Yeah, I said it right. Although, in most of Japan, they're usually only hung up around the New Year, but here in Ise-Toba Shima, in the Ise-Toba Shima region, they are traditionally left up all year long. Interesting. I can add more detailed information into the files for you later. I mean, we're reading it now. Somin Shorai. A type of talisman inscribed with characters Somin Shorai Shison, meaning descendant of Somin Shorai. These talismans come in variety of forms, range from smaller objects such as paper slips, wooden tags, or hexagonal wooden charms, to larger objects such as hoops made of entwined miscanthus reeds, or a shimanawa, sacred ropes used for ritual purification. These talismans are generally placed at the doorways of households as a prayer for sound health and to ward off illness. Many houses in Ise Shima place Somin Shorai talismans at the entrance to their houses, usually in the form of paper slips or shimenawa. Although most families in Japan only put shimenawa up during the New Year, in Ise Shima they are kept up the whole year round, being replaced once a year on New Year's Eve. The word Somin Shorai originates from the name of the central figure in the legends of the same name, although many versions of the tale exist throughout Japan. The tale, as generally told in Ise Shima, is as follows. On New Year's Eve, the deity Gozu Tenno set out to court the princess of Ryugu. However, when night fell, he found that none of the nearby inns had a spare room to offer him, so he turned to two brothers who lived by the sea for hospitality. The wealthy younger brother, Koten Shorai, turned him away despite having the means to accommodate him. The elder brother, Somin Shorai, welcomed Gozu Tenno to his home, even though he lived in poverty. Pleased by the simple yet heartfelt reception he had received, Gozu Tenno rewarded this hospitality by sparing only Somin Shorai from a plague that ravaged the area next year. Damn. Ever since, it's said that hanging the wreath of miscanthus reeds and a charm declaring one to be a descendant of Somin Shorai from one's waist will offer protection from plagues and illness. This tradition has survived to the present day, where such charms are now being used as a talisman for good health and well-being. What is it? Are we being someone there? What? What is it now? You're making me antsy. I dropped my lid. Where's it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's like she sees something. Come now, Saoirse. You realize something about those Somin Shorai, didn't you? You must share. No, nothing like that. It just made me think about how close this area is to the eternal world. What is? Or it is? What does that mean? You already know from the files, but regarding the Somin Shorai, its origin goes back to a legend about the deity Gozu Tenno, who was courting the princess of Ryugu. Ryugu, you say? That's right. Ryugu is close to this place. In other words, that place is very close to the eternal world. No, that place is very close to the eternal world. Yes, and furthermore, Gozu Tenno was also the guardian deity of the Gion Shoja temple. You can see Rigo in the distance. True. The very same Gion Shoja who gets mentioned in our good old friend, The Tale of Heike. So it is. What was it again? From the bells of Gion Shoja echo out the impermanence of all things, right? It sounds cool that even I memorized it. Haven't got a clue what it means though, but it sounds cool. Yep, that's the one. As for its meaning, you can look it up yourself. Fine. So what you're saying is, Ise-shima is a land with deep ties to both Ryugu and the Heike. You guys see anything here? Would have thought. I don't see like Tales of the Heike, but. That's fair. had to lower the rating there. It's all right. And that is exactly why the Somin Shorai tradition is so well established here. That reminds me. There's something about Ryugu's princess that keeps bothering me as well. She certainly is mysterious. That reminds me about Futami Gaura. Dear me, how time flies when listening to your lecture, Saoirse. The sun has already gone down. I suppose I got carried away. Sorry. Well, if that results in such a lovely view of the sea at night, I'll not complain. You're right. Look at all those stars. Dear me, I dragged her out around all day. Didn't I? Perhaps I should say, I had her drag me around all day long. As her guardian for the time being, I suppose I ought to have us retire earlier. Though, Saoirse seems to have limited reserves of energy. Stars speckle the sky as far as I can see. Not bad at all. Pull out a mirror, see a curse. If we really let time get away from us, look how dark it's gotten. Without the light from the stars above, we'd be lost in pitch darkness. She just does the same thing. But look, the heavens are entirely enveloped in a shower of dazzling pinpricks of light. What a sight to behold. Would happen to be versed in constellations, Saoirse? Well, I doubt it'll be enough astrology, so I know a thing or two. Excellent. Do tell. Well, if we consider the constellations you can see in Japan during the summer, the first one that comes to mind is the Summer Triangle. It's an easy one to find. Triangle. I presume it's made up of 3 stars? Correct. Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, and Altair in the constellation Aquila. This trio of bright stars can be observed close to the Milky Way in this season. Well, I think we should go up and admire Vega. What? I want to see. How do we go about identifying them? Well, first, low in the southwest portion of the sky, look for a star that glows red. Antares of the Scorpio constellation. Southwest, you say? From here, that would mean facing inland and looking to the right. Okay, try to find a red star low in the sky and point to it. I think I already did. There's Vega. Orihime and Hikiboshi. Possibly the most famous of the summer constellations. The summer triangle is formed by connecting Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, and Altair in the constellation Aquila. Vega and Altair are also said to represent Orihime and Hikiboshi, the two central figures of the Tanabata legend. The romantic imagery of star-crossed lovers separated by the Milky Way has captivated people's imagination since time immemorable. Ah, damn, I see. The summer triangle is visible in the sky almost directly overhead in August. Start by facing southwest, looking low in the sky to find Antares, the bright red heart of the constellation Scorpius. From there, look straight up and you should spot Vega near the zenith. But I do believe I found it. The star that just there with the reddish tint, that must be Antares, yes? Correct, that is indeed Antares, the brightest star of the Scorpio constellation. Haha, I found it all by myself. Why, I'd make quite the celestial cartographer, if I do say so myself. Oh, I needed a cartography tag. Hate to rain on your parade, but you were supposed to be looking for a star in the summer triangle, so please try again. Egads, that's right. I was trying to look straight up from Antares. But you find Vega at the sky's zenith. Give it a shot. Is that it? It's like straight up is like... there, that must be it. Bingo, that's Vega. One of the 3 stars in the summer triangle. In Japan, Vega is also called the Orihime star and famous for its connection to the Tanabata Star Festival. Did I also say Scorpio? Is this Scorpio? Oh wait. Yeah, it says of the Scorpio constellation, but the files, it said it said Scorpius there in the files. Yeah, constellation Scorpius, yeah. Yeah, I know. I saw that, but I was just like, oh, it said Scorp. They got it right in one part. Then that must mean Hikiboshi will be on the opposite side of the Milky Way from that one. Exactly. Can you figure out which one it is? Well, the other stars in the summer triangle in the same area, so see if you can find it. Oh, this is gonna be so hard. I bet it's going to be this one over here. Wow, no. It's here. Eureka! I spotted it! Oh, that's Altair. One of the 3 stars in the summer triangle. Okay, so that's not quite it. Oh wait, no, it is, yeah. Part of the Aquila constellation, Altair is also known in Japan as Hikoboshi for its role in the Tanabata Star Festival. Oh, that means I managed to fly both Orihime and Hikeboshi. It's as if I've drawn the two star-crossed lovers together with my own hands. How overjoyed they must be. Yeah, nice work. I didn't expect you to be such a romantic. There's still another star in the summer triangle to find. It might be hard to see because of the angle. Right you are. It's certain trick to see something directly above you. So it must be this. If my eyes as discerning as I believe it to be, that's the one. True! True! Finally! First time this emote has been used on Twitch. Or just in general. Yeah. No, I'm sure there's other, surely there's been other uses for it. Plus, I can't just assume that all streamers know Ian. Yeah, right? I mean, there is I mean, if I go to Algonquin, I can... Which is the big national park. In Ontario. You can see... You could get a pretty good view of the sky there. Oh, nice find. That's Deneb. One of the 3 stars in the summer triangle. Deneb lies within the Milky Way, which earns its nickname Milky Way Star. I could get you some Milky Way wishes in there. It does indeed appear to be swimming nicely along that starry stream. There, I've located all 3 stars of the summer triangle. How do you like that? Good work. Now you've mastered the summer skies. Should I start addressing you as Professor? That's me. Feel free to rely on my knowledge. Alright then. What's another name for the star Hikeboshi? It's Altair. That's right. Well done, Professor. Phew. I mean, nothing to it. Yeah. If you live in a city, you're just screwed. Regardless, we've seen all there is to see here in Futamigaura. I'd even go so far to call this a rap. No, he's so earnest, you know. Like it's fun. It's fun. I think that covers all the mermaid legends for Mie Prefecture. But is there anywhere else here you're keen to visit, Shirshi? What? We haven't visited the Issei Shrine yet. If you ask me, we barely scratched the surface. Ah, you got a point there. But it's getting late, so let's say that for tomorrow, shall we? Alright. Next day. Oh, this place, this one is going. I was not ready for this to be this long. Because I was like, oh, you know, I'll probably wrap up and not wrap up, but like I'll be like, okay, this is gonna take an hour, and then once you get to the thing, I might do a stretch break. I might do a stretch break right here once we get some music going. Wow, talk about a gorgeous view. It's something, isn't it? This is Mount Asama, observation platform. It overlooks Toba City on one side and Issei City on the other. So that's Toba City over there, huh? What's Toba got going for it? There's a boat called the Obra Den. You just left it. Yeah, for real. The first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Toba is Toba Castle, built in the Sengoku period by none other than the pirate daimyo, Lord Kuki, who at the time led the Kuki naval fleet. Oh, that's more exciting than I anticipated. As for the Tobashima area, it's famous for having the highest population of ama divers in Japan. Whoops. Aha! I knew there'd be something touristy. What a fantastic blend of culture and history. Mount Asama. Mount Asama straddles the border between Ise City and Toba City, and is also known by its official name of Asamagate. Asamagata Asamagata. Part of the Ise-Shima National Park, it was selected as one of the 100 Landscapes of Japan, a listing of famous scenic sites gathered from across this country. Kongo Shoji, a temple located in the southern peak of Mount Asama, was built to protect Ise Shrine from the northeast. Traditionally regarded as a spiritually vulnerable direction, perhaps as a result, many worshippers who visit Ise Shrine also make the journey to Kongo Shoji. The observatory at the peak of the mountain offers a sweeping view. The observatory at the peak of the mountain offers a sweeping view of Toba City and many islands that dot Ise Bay. Okay, well, now that we have music, I'm gonna get up and stretch. I'll do another hour and a half when I get back, and well, I guess I'm at the mercy of the game based on how this scenario lots, and I'm probably gonna do one more little story segment when we get back, or after that too. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be back in a bit. Don't go too far. Okay, I was up a little longer than I anticipated, but I'm back. From what I hear, lots of the inns in Tova were run by ama divers and fishermen. Can't wait to dig into some seafood tonight. She's been packed and ready to venture forth since the early hours of the morning. Though, I myself beat her to the punch, having been too excited to sleep a wink all night. Apparently, Mount Asama's peak sits at 555 meters above sea level, so it's not that high. But it's situated at the tip of the Shima Peninsula. But as it's situated at the tip of the Shima Peninsula, it offers a magnificent view of Toba's Bay coastline and the outlying islands. Since you stopped by the shrine this morning, I assume we take the mountain path. All I can say, this place takes my breath away. About the Cookie Navy. First off, you should know that the naval troops in the Sengoku period were basically just pirates. Pirates, eh? Yes. They put together the crew of rowdy sailors, armed them to the teeth, and have them patrol a designated area of the sea. They only actually served under their commander as a naval force when there was a battle. Ah, so that's what the Navy was like back then, A ragtag bunch of pirates only called to do their duty in times of need? Exactly. In fact, such forces only came to be called navies during the Edo period, and that was purely a matter of convenience. As for the Cookie Navy, it was one of the pirate bands patrolling the waters of Ise Bay. A man named Kuki Yoshitaka was its commander, hence the name. He distinguished himself in the service of Oda Nobunaga and Toyotomi Hideyoshi, eventually rising to the position of daimyo of Shima province. That's why they called him a pirate, the pirate daimyo. He started as a lowly pirate, but rose all the way to the top of the chain of command. That's how the cookie... Exactly. Did you say Oda Nobunaga? I've heard of him. He was the demon king of the sixth heaven, no? True, but that's a title he gave himself. Still, a pirate and a daimyo. What an enchanting combination. That may be... But he wasn't blessed with where allies were concerned. It seems he was always butting heads with his relatives. Oh? For one thing, he may have had his nephew Sumitaka assassinated in order to take over the Cookie clan. He also fought on opposite sides of his own son, Moritaka, in the decisive battle of Sekigahara. I said that right. Sekigahara. In the end, spurred on by his vassals, he committed suicide on Toshijima, that island over there. So while Cookie became daimyo of Shima province, his land was confiscated during his son's rule, and the clan fell into decline. Truly, life's truly full of up and downs. How the mighty do fall. He must have been quite a character. That reminds me, there's another fascinating legend related to the Cookie clan. Oh, do tell. It's about Cookie Yoshitaka's nephew, Sumitaka. He had an extraordinarily beautiful daughter named Princess Hatsune. I dare say I know where this is going. Whenever a legend starts with a beautiful daughter, it inevitably ends with trouble. You're not wrong there. Princess Hatsune was so beautiful that she saw no end of suitors, and her father sought to marry her off to achieve his political ends. But the princess had already a lover, so she fought against her father's plan and even ran away from home several times, only to be brought back home. I knew it. Alas, that's what a life was like for daughters of powerful figures in those days. Well, Princess Hatsune lamented her fate. Must I be cursed with such misfortune merely for my beauty? And she didn't stop there. May no beautiful daughter born to this land May no beautiful daughter be born to this land again. Such was the curse she left behind before throwing herself down a well. And so the legend ends. Not what I'd call a happy ending. The princess may have had good intentions, but I'm sure no one else felt she was doing them any favors. Good intentions. That isn't how I interpret it. Well, what's your take on the story then? When authority figures try to force other people's hands, they bring these things upon themselves. That's just asking to get cursed. Fair enough. I see your point. Still, the princess did take it a bit far. To me, though, it almost feels like that part was tacked on later. As if someone thought it would make for the story more impactful. That word of it would travel further, and if the princess killed herself at the end. Oh, you're right. That would change the story completely. But there's something else that interests me more. Sumitaka became head of the Kuki clan in 1560, but he was so young that Yoshitaka had been appointed as his guardian. At his exact age at the time isn't known, but it's commonly believed that he was around 8 years old. Nothing unusual there. Premature inheritances were a common occurrence in those days. But consider this. When Sumitaka died 24 years later in 1584, he would have been 32 years old. Yes. Even if you're suppose that Princess Hatsune was 15, their ages don't quite add up, do they? Age differences weren't so much a point of contention back then, but even so, that is a bit odd. Which begs the question, did Princess Hatsune really exist to begin with? Even if she did, was she really Sumitake's daughter? And Agate Magatama was unearthed at the place where the princess was supposedly buried. But that could have been easily planted there to lend credibility to the tale. Princess Hatsune Miku. Clearly, yeah. Well, once you start doubting, it's hard not to see lies everywhere. True, and the pursuit of the unknown starts with belief, doesn't it? Well said. A certain occult researcher taught me that one. You don't say. Kuki and Princess Hatsune. The Kuki clan. The pirate who became feudal lords. During the Sengoku period, Shima province was home to a number of local clans, among which the Kuki clan was just one of many pirate clans operating in Ise Bay. However, things changed when Kuki Yoshitaka correctly read the changing tides and allied himself with first with Oda Nobunaga and then Toyotomi Hideyoshi, both powerful figures in the area. Rising to prominence as commander in the Kuki Navy, he became the feudal lord of Shima province, founding Tova Castle as his base of operation. While Yoshitaka was in the service of Nobunaga, the head of the Kuki clan was his nephew, Sumitaka, with Yoshitaka serving as his advisor. Despite his position, Sumitaka was little more than a puppet lord and died young, reportedly due to illness, just 2 years after the Honji incident. However, some theories suggest that he was actually poisoned by Yoshitaka as part of a scheme to seize control of the family. The Princess Hatsune, Kuki Sumitaka's daughter, Princess Hatsune, was said to have married, said to have been a woman of great beauty. Sumitaka planned to marry her off as part of a political marriage. However, Princess Hatsune refused to, saying that she had already promised a future to someone else. Upon learning that Princess Hatsune Princess Hatsune's beloved was a member of an enemy clan, Sumitaka was enraged and insisted she marry the person he had chosen for her. Although Princess Hatsune made numerous attempts to escape in order to be with her lover, she was caught each time and forced to return home. Despairing her fate, Princess Hatsune lamented her beauty, blaming it for her predicament, before throwing herself down a well in her sorrow. As she did so, she prayed with her last breath that no beautiful woman would ever be born in that land again, or so the legend goes. Despite the tale persevering as part of local folklore, many question about the accuracy of Princess Hatsune's legend remain. Many questions about the accuracy of Princess Hatsune's legend remain, including Sumitaka's age at the time. What I hear, a lot of inns in Tova were run by Amadires and fishermen. Can't wait to dig in some seafood tonight. Oh, I just realized something. Kuki Sumitaka died, or was assassinated, exactly 400 years ago. Is that significant? It is. A special spiritual significance is attached to the periods of 400 years. For instance, the cycle of death and rebirth is supposedly lasts 400 years, and some stories claim that a soul endures for 400 years. Of course, 800-year immortals have twice that lifespan, but as you can see, 400 years is widely considered a good cutoff point. So there's a chance something happens after 400 years. Maybe. In any case, we should probably tread carefully here. It sounds to me as if we're in the right place at the right time. Amadivers have a long history in the Tobashima region. Evidence indicates that free divers have been fishing in the area since ancient times. You don't say. Most notably, it is said that Oben, who once presented an abalone to Yamato Hime no Mikoto, was the very first Amadiver. In fact, there's a shrine dedicated in Oben in Kuzaki that is considered a sacred place to Amadivers of the Toba Shima region. Is that so? She must have been truly legendary. Moreover, there are several poems in the famous 8th century poem anthology Menyoshu that depict amadiving in Shima province. Hey, nice 100 streak. Nice butt. That do be a butt. Thank you, Legis. Amadivers also appear in dozens of ukiyo-e from the Edo period. Clearly, they were a popular theme. It's quite incredible to think that their method of fishing has not only endured for so long, but has been recorded in such exquisite detail. There is another point worth noting. Amadivers have long been likened to mermaids for their skill and grace. You can even argue that Amadiver culture is so deeply rooted in this place it is interwoven with the region's mermaid legends. Ah, yes. There is a simple theory that mermaids of Ise Bay were simply Amadivers. It does seem likely that there's a connection between the two. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the originators of the legend. But I'd be beyond disappointed if that was all there is to it. Oh, right. By the way, there's another legend surrounding the Amadivers of Tobashima region regarding something called the Tomokazuki. That's the ghost that we found, right? It is believed that an Amadiver who may encounter a copy of herself underwater, who will then offer her an abalone. If she accepts, the Tomokazuki doppelganger will drag her to the bottom of the sea, never to be seen again. Ah, Shirshe, please don't spring scary stories on me out of nowhere. That's why the Amadivers of this area wear the Seiman and Doman symbols on them while they dive. It is a tradition that has continued right up to the present day. There must be some reason for it beyond pure superstition. Interesting. On another note, the Amadivers of the Tobashima region possessed such exceptional diving skills that in addition to fishing, they also saved people from drowning and fetched objects that had sunk to the sea floor right up until the Meiji area. Well, that sounds as if were truly diving professionals. Exactly. In fact, after the Heike were defeated at Danora, were lost beneath the waves. Oh? We're back at the Heike already? I wasn't aware there was a connection. Well, after that fateful battle, who do you think they sent to reclaim the legendary sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi from the seafloor? 2 Amadivers. Ah, so their lost and found services were being employed even back then, eh? And while they were diving, they came face to face with the vengeful spirits of the drowned Heike. Sershi, please, you're gonna give me nightmares. At least, that's what's depicted in the ukiyo-e entitled In the Western Sea. The diving women encountered the Heike in the depths of the water. Such a deep connection. To think the Heike were once depicted as with Amadivers. They truly are symbols of the Ise Shima region. Yes, but setting for that ukiyo-e is Danora, which isn't anywhere near here. Still, it does go to show that Amadivers have a deep connection to the sea for a very long time. When they were talking about the Tobashima region, Amadivers are always going to be key players. If you ask me, they should be brought up before the pirates. Mind you, the Navy had a crucial role to play too. Right. As fascinating as all this has been, Sershi, I'd say it's high time we return to our primary topic of interest here. Oh, and that would that be mermaids? Personally, now that we visited Issei Shrine, I'm more or less satisfied. Tut tut, Sershi, you disappoint me. We didn't come here purely to chase legends, did we? And here I was hoping we could move on to buying souvenirs next. You know perfectly well that the true purpose of my voyage is nothing more or less than a treasure hunt. Right? Of course, I'm sure all this information we've gathered will come in handy as well. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. And there we have it. Oh! Still not getting there. We also still haven't opened this up. Treasure Heart Part 1. After collecting information about mermaids and returning to their inn, Ave and Sershi have a meeting to plan their true objective, the treasure hunt. Oh, look, there's a turtle. Sorry, Kamishimaru. Now then, I believe it's time we discuss our strategy. Sure, what do you mean by strategy? It should be obvious. We must reflect on all we've learned if we want to move forward. This is a poster advertising the island of Kamishima. I'd love to pay a visit to a remote island like that. The name is pretty intriguing too. Ah, Kami means turtle, doesn't it? It's a poster of Kamishima. I can't shake this weird feeling. Huh, why? Is there something wrong with the island or the poster? The poster, I believe. Do you mind if I take a closer look? My hunch was right. There's a presence here. No way, come on, don't scare me like that. Seems to me she knows her fair share of both useful and useless facts. Time to get down to business. This is the Murakumotai. It's a small inn located in Toba. It's a laid-back inn that feels more like a private residence than a hotel thanks to the attentive staff. I could barely count all the different fresh fish we were served for dinner last night. I've not felt so full in a while. I think the scroll perfectly complements the tatami room. This room may not have a dedicated alcove, but the scroll still ties the room together. How lovely. Mosquito repellent. Each room is equipped with a mosquito trap. They tend to come through the windows on hot days. It's a neat contraption. You have to plug it in and place it, and it will kill any nearby mosquitoes. Traps like these are reliable as well as easier and safer than the combustible type, so they've gotten quite popular. I see. Oops. I wanted to... Ready? Yes, please proceed. You sure? Because I'll do it. I really will. There's no telling what may happen. Quit stalling. Oh. I thought it was gonna... I mean, hey, Mockingbird is cool, but... We got the Dawn Heron. I thought there was gonna be something a little more, something spooky or something. The light passing through the windows. It's hot outside, so I'll leave them closed. Do be August. Dried flowers. I suppose this is the embodiment of the Japanese concept wabi wabi, or however you say it. The door to our room. Outside is a hallway with a restroom and wash basin for communal use. Guests place their shoes in the cubbies at the entrance and wear slippers while in the inn. My bag, a faithful travel companion of several decades. This may resemble an L-shaped dividing screen, but I think it's actually a towel rack. You're close. It's a small clothes rack. I see, so that's what it is. Yes, normally it's used to hang kimonos, but this one's quite small, so I suppose it would work well for towels and other small garments. You're quite knowledgeable. I worried yesterday that she might be struggling to sleep on just a futon in a tatami room like this, but she looks well rested, so I suppose she's used to it. On the other hand, I was too excited to get much sleep. This phone can only be used to call the front desk. Outside calls are impossible. Well, I trust your strategizing is going well. Indeed, there are just a few things I have to check. Like what? This map looks quite old. Exactly. It's also the precise reason I have come to Mie. Simply put, this is no ordinary map. This is a mermaid treasure map. A mermaid treasure map? Allow me to explain. This mermaid treasure map in the family storage. I should explain it to Sushi. Oh, Is this the business card I gave from the guy we met earlier? It is. We managed to glean some surprisingly good information from that exchange. I thought we were going to get a recall. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. Pardon me, but would the lovely lady and handsome gentleman be willing to spare me a moment? Why, yes, the gentleman does have some time. I suppose that makes me the lady, then? Oh, it's you. You've been following us for quite some time. Huh? He has? For how long? Since the Issei Grand Shrine, I believe. Truly. Maybe you can keep me appraised of things like this in the future, Sirshi? It appears I wasn't as stealthy as I thought. My apologies for the indiscretion. But, you see, the two of you piqued my interest. Foreigners in Issei Bay searching for mermaids. Gosh, you overheard everything! How embarrassing! Avi hollering won't lessen the embarrassment. How rude of me. I ought to introduce myself. I am an event planner in Issei City. My name is Kipe Ikoma. Ah, fancy visiting card and everything. What a charming fellow. Let's see. Sala Planning, eh? It says you're the CEO. Actually, I'm one of the I'm actually the only employee, so the title doesn't really mean much. I apologize for the rudeness. I actually ran out of business card of my own. Did you ever have any? I heard you need to carry business cards in Japan if you want to avoid looking suspicious, but still, I forgot to bring any. But the freewheeling and forgetful man before you goes by the name Arnav Barnum, a fantasy author who is merely passing through. Do you believe me, or am I too suspicious? Without a business card for proof, the verdict is yours alone to make. So you're an author, Mr. Barnum. That name has come up before. Ipe. It should show up somewhere, but... Damn, I wish I knew where he showed up. Maybe they mentioned him in another rep. Please, call me Avi. This is Sirshi. She has studied more Japanese history than even the average Japanese citizen. It's a pleasure. If you like, I can list the top 100 of Issei's best features at any time. Aren't you a delight? I was right to take an interest in you two. It's Kipe, director of Sala Planning, a venture company primarily focused on the planning and production of tourism promotion in events in Issei City. And ambition, yeah, man, Kipe is both highly driven and extremely tenacious when it comes to fulfilling his goals. He's currently planning a PR project themed on mermaids as a sightseeing attraction. About 6 years ago, with the support of wealthy tycoon Yoshiatsu Yamashina, Kipe moved from Issei to the countryside with nothing but the clothes on his back and an eye to make his fortune. This aggressiveness won him Yamashina's favor, and after several years spent building up experience as his assistant, the tycoon granted Kipe an investment with which he could start his company. Although Yamashina could be said to be particularly strict with him, his reflection of high This is a reflection of his high expectations he has for his fortune. Kipei is often told he looks old for his age, but this means he is not taken lightly when doing business. He sees this as an advantage. Yeah, I was like wondering if he showed up with like someone mentioned him, like yeah, here. Or the other one was like I wasn't sure if like since he is like part of planning and production and tourism, if he was involved with the making of those mirrors or something like that. If that's where his name came up. Forgive me for my bluntness, but would you mind sparing me a few moments? I'd love to talk a little longer. I suppose that could be arranged. I thought she was totally absorbed in the sightseeing, yet she noticed we were being tailed. Impressive, if I do say so myself. What do you think, Saoirse? Feels like a scammer who targets foreign tourists. quite the blunt one, aren't you, young lady? I mean, yeah, what else are we supposed to think? Gust the wind praised this lovely observation deck. I'm not sure if I should trust him. Entertaining a weirdo might prove to be a pain. That said, he also seems interested in mermaids. Perhaps we could get some information out of him. So, this young man is actually a CEO, though I'm not sure I'd call him young. His gaze has a piercing quality to it, and there is something off about his smile. Everything about him feels older than he looks. The truth is, I'm currently planning a promotional tourism campaign for the Ise-Shima region. I was thinking of using mermaid legends as the centerpiece of the campaign. Mermaids, huh? I am sure you're already quite aware of the mermaid legends of Ise Bay. I thought we could hold events and exhibitions centered around such legends to attract tourists. I see, so that's why you're interested in mermaids. Additionally, this Shima region is also famous for its pearls. I believe mermaids and pearls naturally complement one another. True. There's also the famous legends that mermaids' tears turn into pearls when they are washed away by the ocean. Oh, such a story would do wonders for the diving tourism in the area. Does this project mean you're knowledgeable about mermaids in Ise then, Mr. Ikoma? I suppose it does. I know a fair bit. For example, there are some mermaids legends that most people have never heard of. Oh, do share. A long time ago, there was an island south of Kamishima known as Taishima. Have you heard of it? I'm afraid I haven't. It rings a bell. It was also called Taishima by some. That's absolutely right. It is said that once upon a time, 3 mermaids lived on Taishima. Wow, 3 of them? Tell me, were they human mermaids or fish mermaids? Human mermaids? Well, I suppose their upper bodies were humans. So I suppose you could describe them as such. I see. Then that would separate them from the 3 mermaids discovered in Betsuo during the Heian period. Oh, this is the first I've heard of this tale. However, Taishima sunk 400 years during a natural disaster. The mermaids seem to have vanished after that. What? Such a shame. Regardless, it is said that the 3 mermaids were Sobai, Nagame, and Hayase. So the mermaids were named too, huh? That certainly adds the authenticity to the story. Pardon me, Mr. Ikoma. I never came across such concrete information. Where did you learn this? I don't blame you for questioning my sources. I also haven't managed to find any records of this tale. You see, the story was passed through word of mouth. It turns out there was a single man who managed to escape the island's destruction. His descendants have kept the legend alive. Aha! So it's one of those descendants you heard the story from. That's right. They live a modest, private life these days. When the story comes straight from the descendant like that, it does lend it some credibility. I believe these oversized suits known as soft suits are currently quite popular in Japan. Perhaps he's trying to be taken seriously as a CEO. He certainly is putting a lot of effort into his appearance. I would love to inquire deeper about these Taishima mermaids. If you don't mind, could you share the identity of this descendant you speak of? My apologies, I'm afraid I cannot oblige. She's not the friendliest sort. Frankly, I have trouble getting her to open up. No matter how many times I visit her, I always feel like I'm only getting part of the story. I see. That's a real shame. Now, this may not be much consolation, but I have another interesting rumor from this descendant to share. Oh, I'm all ears. It concerns one of the rumored Taishima mermaids. It is said that a few decades ago, one of those mermaids turned human and now lives among us. No kidding. She became human? It does ring a bell, though. Why? That is exactly the story of the Little Mermaid. What an exciting discovery. You say this was only a few decades ago. That makes it quite recent. This former mermaid could be walking among the people here as we speak. If the story is true, then yes. However, I'll concede that even I find the story hard to believe. It is a little fantastical. By the by, may I ask why you're searching for Ise Bay's mermaids, Abby? No particular reason. I just thought it'd be fun to wander through some sightseeing areas related to mermaid folklore. That's all. I don't think the Little Mermaid... Well, I mean, it's possible it's come out by now, but, like, I doubt it. I think he's talking about the original, like... Was it Hans Christian Andersen? Is that the original author? I see. Well, since you traveled all this way to Japan to sightsee, I'd love to ask you some questions. Was there anything missing from the area you've enjoyed? That you visited that you think made your trip more enjoyable? About those photo spots you put your face in. Or what about those photo spots you put your face in? I know. I love those. I love them. Really? Are they that interesting? They're a Japanese tourism classic. It would be nice to see more of them. Agreed. If I saw one, I'd certainly take a photo with it. Oh, and please sell more of those little pennant flags. I can't resist them. I see. I truly appreciate the input, but perhaps things are fine as they are. Amazing. A brand new mermaid legend. The real question is why. There's a long history of people making up legends to drive tourism. Such stories linger on, despite their veracity being entirely unverifiable, I suppose. Is something the matter? It's nothing. It's nothing. We should take his tale with a pinch of salt until we can identify its source. Right. Should you discover anything new regarding the area's mermaids, please let me know. Understood. We hope you do the same for us. Well, it's about time for us to get going. Yes, of course. Thank you. I apologize again for taking so much of your time. Since you actually come all this way to Japan. If anything happens to you during your vacation here, or you need help at all, please feel free to give me a call. I'm quite familiar with all sorts of business in this area. For example, I could put you in touch with someone should you be looking to interview ama divers. Oh really? That's very kind. You're not just saying that as a formality, are you? A free-spirited lad like myself will not hesitate to take you up on an offer like this. I will call you. Please, do not hold back. I'll leave you two to your sightseeing. Please, have a good time. If mermaids really did live on Taishima, it's certainly worth investigating. Can't talk about the bottom option. I found this map in the old family storage. It was left behind by my great-grandmother. If she's your great-grandmother, that would make her great-grandmother... That would make her my great-grandmother's sister. I'm sure she was exiled from the Lunar Light family because of her eccentricities. That's correct. She was quite fond of the occult and amassed a number of suspicious curios over her lifetime. As a child, I loved searching through the storehouse that housed her collection. It was like a treasure hunt of wonders. A demon tail, a yeti bone, a book of black magic, Ogopogo's tooth, a piece of a UFO, a crystal skull. Damn, I can't believe Yoko's dog was just all the way back there. Such an old dog. I cannot vouch that any of it was authentic, but it was still so exciting to look through. It's no exaggeration when I say that this very storehouse is what led me down the path of becoming a fantasy author. I suppose that's the kind of formative experience an occult writer needs. Just so, I have to thank my great-grandmother. She is the reason I can put food on my table. Among the items in that collection was this. I see. A mermaid mummy. Precisely. They were rather prevalent as sideshows and the like all over the world in the 19th century. Mermaid mummies from Japan were quite popular because of their high quality. A number of them even made their way to Europe. Huh. This probably made its way to the family storage at around that time. Oof, I am so sorry. It was probably passed from one seller to another until it ended up in my great-grandmother's hands. Are you so sure it was made in Japan? Well, you see, I gave this mummy a thorough investigation. I even took it apart. Sure enough, it was made of wood and paper clay. But lo and behold, I found this map inside. Truly, you found this map. You found the map inside a mummy. 140? That's bonkers. Whoever made it all those years ago must have snuck inside the map inside. I doubt my great-grandmother even had the slightest idea it was in there. That's an incredible discovery. It is simply tantalizing, is it not? Whoops. There's not a doubt in my mind it will lead to a most thrilling discovery. So when you call this a mermaid treasure map... Oh, sorry. Why did you call this a mermaid treasure map? Well, it was hidden inside a mermaid mummy, so it follows it must be a treasure map of sorts, no? I see. Your enthusiasm has carried you quite a ways from home. I'm impressed. Thank you. I have no doubt our treasure lies somewhere in the Issei Bay. What a shame. There's no X to mark the spot. Indeed. This leads us to our first conundrum. Any idea how to decipher this map, Sershi? Put me on the spot, why don't you? But it does look like something is written here. Do you know what it says? Oh, that part. I actually did some research on that. Apparently it says, search the 95th. Search the 95th. That sure makes it sound like it leads to a secret location of some sort. Yes. It must relate to mermaids. Aren't you itching to find it? You know it. I knew it. I'm counting on you to help me solve the map's riddle. Search the 95th, huh? Well, that'd be under traditionals in history, right? or human. Okay. Oh wait, I just remembered. You said you can douse, no? Can't you just douse for the treasure? Then we can skip this whole map and riddle business altogether. I apologize, but that's impossible. Truly, but why? Dowsing is usually used to find dowsing is usually used to find waterways, veins, and of ore, and other such things. My dowsing, however, can be used to find people and objects imbued with spiritual power. However, I must be familiar with the spiritual power that I am looking for. I see. In other words, you wouldn't be able to find a treasure you've never seen or heard of. Yes. The distance from which I can detect the source also depends on how strong the spiritual power is. That's not quite the superpower I thought it was. I say, we've had enough of diversion. Let's get back to investigating your map. I say, okay. Let's take a good look. No, I'm gonna leave it. This is a sketch of the mermaid mummy I found in our family storage. Bringing it along would have been out of the question, so I settled on just bringing a sketch. Oh, that's right. Also, I'm told Saoirse why I'm searching for mermaids. Thought so. Research material. Some of the notes I've taken, the information in them is not substantive and likely of no use. Ashtray. Porcelain ashtray that came with the room. Ashtrays like these are found just about anywhere, so one can smoke without any worries. That being said, I noticed people outside still just simply dropping their cigarettes onto the ground. Well, I wasn't a smoker to begin with. To be frank, I didn't just come here to solve the map's riddle. My real goal is to find an actual mermaid. Oh yes, I had a feeling that was it. So you already knew. Exorcists sure have some keen instincts. I don't think you need keen instincts to figure that one out, Abby. What will you do if you find a mermaid? Do you want to become immortal? I suppose. Might as well, considering all the trouble finding one will be. Your reasoning is unexpectedly uninspired. Simple though it may be, I find the idea quite romantic, akin to ascending to a new stage of humanity. Sure, I guess. I take it you disagree with my thinking, Saoirse? I fail to see why my opinion should matter here. What you do is your decision to make, though I'm not certain that an immortal can still be called human. Still, your decision is irrelevant to my duty, so I will try not to interfere. Actually, meeting an immortal will be a rare, once-in-a-lifetime chance. Please transcend humanity and let me examine you. I prefer if you didn't speak of me like a research specimen. I'll overlook it for now. Though, I do wonder if immortality would actually bring you happiness. When you look at old folks' tales, it tends to be less of a blessing and more of a curse. Jeez. Don't say that after I've already made up my mind and everything. No, man, it's good to warn you. You're like one of those books open all the time because you're that popular. True, true. Well, I'm sure you'll be alright. If you tire of immortality, you only need to embark on a journey like a modern-day Yao Bikuni. That is one way to look at it, though I think the nun part might be an issue. Give me like 4. Yeah, right? Like, there's always a, it's like a catch is always like you want there to be an end point, you know? You want there. Well, I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. There's no immortality to be had till I find a mermaid flesh to bite into. So let's start there. Understood. I'm also quite interested in finding a mermaid myself. Sorry, I don't know what's up with me here. Searching just for mermaid meat alone seems like a waste. Agreed. The best way to go about this would be to find a living human mermaid. And I have no doubt that this map would lead us to a place that's related to mermaids and immortality. That's quite exciting. Now this is what I call a true adventure. No matter the era, there's nothing better than a quest for the unknown. Okay, let's pick up the map. Oh? Did you know something? Looks like something's written on the other side. I see. I knew I must have... Come on, bro. You didn't check the back side? Like, you never looked at the back? I should carefully hold the edge when I want to look at the other side. No spots on the back of the map. Oh. Those? I dismissed them as a bunch of stains. Oh. Do you think that's all they are? So this is the same as a constellation. Eureka! Inspiration strikes. I figured it out. It's a bit hard to see. It's a bit hard to see what you mean looking from the back of the map. Can you point at the front? You make a fair point. Now, I may be less inspiration struck than I first assumed, but I'll have to think on this more a bit. Okay. There's a treasure. So here, behold. Oh, why there? Or I felt right? Okay. Show me the definite location? Okay. Okay, so... So if we go to there, Telvise Bay. Compares to separating the Milky Way. So do I have to go Hikoboshi? And which one is the Hikoboshi? Oh, wait. Testimony of this, indicate this individual in the sketch resembles a youth by the name of Kipe Ikoma who went missing 6 years ago with no known relatives. There's Kipe Ikoma. So it's at the bottom of this triangle. Is that where it is? There's a... Because when I turn it around... Oh! That's how you do it. Get out. I say so. That is the right name, right? Hikoboshi. Allow me to explain. You see, the 95th in the riddle refers to the 95th tales of Issei, and the title of that tale is none other than Hikoboshi. Also note how the summer triangle constellation is drawn at the back. The location of Hikoboshi or Altair corresponds to this very spot on the map. Incredible! I should have expected nothing less. You truly are a genius, Abby. Nothing compares to the rush of a breakthrough. Let's keep riding this high. Solve the mystery of the map as... I wonder if like you get to a point where if you don't solve it, you just kind of get the answer, so... Figure out where the treasure lies. I'm keen to investigate further, but I should confirm some other matters first. Even if we search the area on the map, it's in the middle of the sea. How are we supposed to search a place like that? Looking for an unknown object somewhere on the large swath of the sea floor seems like an impossible task. You're right, it does sound difficult. We might have to ask our friendly CEO for help. He did give us his credit card, or he did give us his card. However, wouldn't that mean we have to inform him of the map? No other way about it. Yeah, I just really wanted that, you know, just treat myself to a nice steak dinner. In addition, we should find anything. Should we find anything, I imagine he'll expect to share the spoils. I really wanted to keep it all to myself. Sharing is the worst. I understand, but we have no other options. It's a shame, but I suppose you're right. We should contact him as soon as we can. Ah, we got more here. Well, I'm gonna save Treasure Heart Pond 2 for next time in case that goes on for a while. But whoops, some interesting stuff today. A lot of interesting stuff today. Cause boy, finding Kikuko betraying us and not really betraying. She wasn't really on our side, but you know, it was really sad. But we got her introduced to, we got learn a little bit more about Avi and Shirshi, and they're fun. Honestly, I'm liking all the characters here so far. There's a good cast. There's a really good cast, but we're gonna I'm gonna be back on Sunday. We'll probably get quite a few interesting stories coming up then. Hope to see you guys then. I'm really looking forward to it. Kikuko showed, yeah. And then I finally found the file where Kipe showed up. So that's gonna be interesting to see where that leads to. So anyways, I will see you guys then. I'm gonna send you over to Ryudo because that's what I do. Turn down the volume. He is playing some Tiny Toons Adventures. So, you know, if you like some classic Genesis platforming, we got it there. Anyways, I'll see you guys the rest of the night. Hopefully see you guys on Sunday. And enjoy the rest of your night. Bye now.